Live. What's up? All right, so we're going to get going here in just a minute. We are in the middle of a class, and we have Jack's Malibu that we need to tint. We need to tint it in limo. So I have hired all the students to make it happen. That is the project for today. Let's get this camera going, and then we'll join in the fun. Things are going to be a little bit crazy. That's also what's going to make this exciting. If my camera will work, that would be the biggest bummer. Oh, there it goes. Just kidding. No, it should be good, right?
Tint stuff is now live. Screening makers test tracking. How many students?
That's what that voice sounds like in my ear all day. We're probably going to have to shut that one off. I think that's what's going to happen. Let's see here. Let's push this button. Where's my camera? Oh. Oh. Well, that's very weird. Let's plug this in. And then we should be good. Good luck with the stream. Thank you. Seemed like a fun thing to do. So the goal here today is to tint the Malibu. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It just needs to get done. So what you're going to see is a lot of guidance. Good. Let's wipe this off. Nice. Mm-hmm. Just a second, and then we'll get going. And then we'll probably put this at 50%, see how this sounds. We might have to change that. What up? You guys want to see some fun? Microphone. That's the last bit. Once we do that. Then we'll be good. Kevin T-Town. What's up? I hope they don't notice that I have a big GoPro on my head. Do you think they'll notice? I don't think they'll notice. GoPro. There we go. Dean, what's up? All right. Cool. So yeah. Don't Don't pay attention to the giant camera on my head. It's all part of the class now.
Okay. You have to judge now.
All right. Get in there. Just a little bit closer. And then it'll go a little bit faster. Yep. So we can pick it up a little bit, hold it a little farther back when it's picked up, and right there, that's kind of what you're looking for.
okay.
So same thing with here, just these little guys. Whenever it's picked up, that's when you'll back off with the heat gun a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then when it's close to the glass, that glass is absorbing the heat, and then it'll shrink a little faster.
Understand what you're trying to cut.
So good. So then when we check it, that's good. Nice. Maybe this one just a little bit more. So squeegee that down. Yep. See a little finger popped up there. So you can either, yep, a little more. Nice. And then before you go to install this pattern, what I'd do, I would just trim off this little notch here that goes up, because that'll keep the whole pattern from,
Okay.
it'll give you a big, yeah, it'll give you a big gap. Whoa. You bottom loading?
No, I didn't know.
That goes at top first.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you ended up peeling the whole liner. Looks like you got a halfway decent pattern, though.
You said it looks decent?
Yeah, from a quick glance, like, looks like all your edges and stuff are gonna be covered. Just sticking on you a little bit, so it's a little harder to get in. Here, yeah, and if you want to grab a stool too, it'll help. So it usually, when it's overlapped from the top edge, that's when it's gonna start sticking on you. So I'll sometimes try and figure out a spot that I can push it from that kind of creates a little ripple, and then pushes it free, and now it's sliding a little bit better, and you can get it over. This is a nice looking top edge, man. That's awesome. There's like a little, like if I'm being critical, there's a little notch right there, but you can get this really, really close.
I don't know where I messed up.
Yep.
Feeling the clear liner.
Yep, just peeling the whole thing off. Yeah, doing it that way, if you had like the bottom seal pop, then you could have dropped the whole thing in and just tinted it together. But yeah, you also got to hold the tint in place. So where I'll hold it from is usually from like the opposite side. So if I'm squeegeeing this way, I'm creating a little counter pressure on this side. So I'm just going to hold it and squeegee that part out. But it's going to shift around a little bit until you kind of dial it in. And then as it starts tacking up to the glass, it's not going to move anymore, and you can be a little bit more aggressive with squeegeeing it out. Good. Headlights are off. All right. How are we doing over here?
I missed the fourth part, but
Well,
all right.
this is all good. Nice top edge, by the way. Look at that. It's turning out better. Okay, a little hiccup there. Do you still have the black knife? Okay. So if you have it,
This one.
okay. And then all I would do for this, the main thing about a top edge is like, yeah, if you have a little hiccup here, that's going to stand out. But most of it looks pretty good. The worst parts are going to be areas that really stick up really high. So then what I would do is I would just make sure that that is in line with the rest of the window, so you don't have any. Okay, so when you're trimming directly on the glass, extend the blade farther. You create a really low angle to the glass, and it's easier to trim those little fine areas and get a nice straight edge.
How does it like, other than that, should I start doing
Yeah, well, we'll shrink it first, and then we'll go to install it. As far as the pattern looks right now, like it all looks like it's gonna fit. So you never know until you get it in there, but it looks like you're doing the right things. So we'll go ahead and set it up for shrinking. We'll do that.
Is there a difference between this and the one you like getting the blades?
Yeah, that one kind of sucks. So like the main difference is like,
One's like a
yeah, the clicks are different. But also you notice, like, I didn't notice this until I started using it, how far out that metal holder sits makes the blade kind of, like, there's a lot of space there. So it's harder to get lower to the glass. So if you put this much blade, you end up dragging the holder across the tint. I'll get you a different knife. If you want to just grab one of the tool belt setups and just start setting some stuff up. Or here. Actually, just use this one. It's all set up. Here. It's a little older, but it's a good tool belt. Good morning, Tint class. What's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, so we're on the third day of the class, and I've always kind of wanted to go live with some of it, but most of this is obviously for the students. And now we're kind of at a good place where everybody kind of has a goal today, and that is to get this car tinted. So we're going to be playing around with everything. Shrinking back windows, installing, cutting doors, and there's just, it's the right kind of chaotic where it's easy enough to kind of keep an eye on everybody and step in with a lot of little lessons throughout the entire job. So should be fun. So I'm gonna load up a knife here, and should be fun. Got that. Here's a knife with a new blade too. Whoa, you got this one done? Oh, this little guy? Oh, what am I? Oh, this little one. Oh, yeah. I kind of remember that area where we shrunk, right? Yep. And then there's a little one over on here too, a little fold. This looks really good. It's clean. It just happened before I even thought it would. Yeah, the main thing to be careful of is when you're heating it up, just be conscious of the paneling on it. Yeah, just always trying to remind people of that. Did you shrink this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Probably need to a little bit more. Yep, because these ones popping up at the bottom, that is a good indication that it needs to be shrunk even more. So.
About that.
Yeah, it's going to be too hard to, and there's some extra stuff there, but it's going to be too hard to try and get those to lay down when the seal is in there because it's going to hold a lot of water. So, but as far as just general installation and like, I mean, you had the whole thing peeled and like pressed up against the window for a little bit. That's actually pretty good. Like all things considering.
So I'll just rip it off.
Yeah, roll it down. I want to see the top edge too. That turned out nice. That looks really good. That's nice and close across like the whole thing. That's exactly what you're looking for. So, yep, just do that. I'll help you shrink it a little bit more next time. But also you guys are doing this like relatively quickly too. So, didn't seem like it took you too long to cut and get the pattern on there.
Like with this, I should cut it probably a little bit more.
A little bit. Yeah, you're going to want to do it a little bit wider because you don't have that much room on this side either. So, yeah, make the pattern just a little bit wider. That'll help out.
Trying to help them out.
Yeah, they're a little finicky to adjust. Here, here, take the belt off. So, I think it's this one. So if you pull it this way, and then, I swear I remember this. So it's definitely that. That'll tighten it up.
That makes it bigger on this.
Hang on. We're almost there. I think I started wrong, but we're getting there. So it's that part. And then this will pull tight. There you go. That's tighter for sure. Try that, and then we can tighten it up more if we need to, or loosen it. Huh? Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, that one's rough for sure. So let's get another pattern out. I'll help you through the shrinking portion of it. You want to just start? Oh, you're gonna do the back window?
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you?
The front window.
Okay. Well, he'll do the front window. You want to work on the back one?
Sure.
Okay. Well, it's already there. Did you set this one up then?
Not really.
No? Oh, okay. We'll go for it. There's a piece there you can...
I cut it a little bit too short for here, but it was perfect for that side.
That's a good way to save some film. I have a feeling we're going to go through a lot of carbon. All right. So spray the window first because it's just completely dry. Yep. So unrolling against the mirror is kind of a tricky spot because it wants to keep the roll off of it, where I like to unroll on the passenger side. And so if I were to do it on the driver's side, it should go from this way to this way, but you're using your opposite hands. So I'll just kind of stay a little shy, cut it maybe there, and just kind of let it drop. Guesstimating wide is always better than guesstimating too short. So, but just kind of let it hang back, chop it off, and then let it fall in. So, and then from there, take all this stuff. This will just get in your way, so you want to trim it off ahead of time.
So cut this, then push it in. Cut that.
And then push it back half as much, yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Give it another little spray underneath, so just spray that portion of it, starting to stick. There you go. Nice, there you go. Okay, open up the door a little bit more. It'll give you guys a little bit more space. And then try and toss the scraps too on the car, because with more people running around the car, yep, it'll become a tripping hazard for everybody.
So what I like to do now is like I keep it closed and then I get it to the corner, like kind of like push against it and
Sure.
then like open it. Is that good? Or?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Whatever works for you. So you're probably gonna want to start at the bottom though.
Oh.
That's the only thing is it's gonna be really awkward to try and cut that. So you kind of have to start at the bottom and then go straight up. There you go. Yep. Nice job. That's a perfect cut right there. Oh, you didn't. Did you slide it over?
Yeah, I slid it over.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so when you slide it, pick it up over the seal and then drag it over on top of the seal. Don't just try and cram it against the seal.
Oh.
That's the only difference there, because you see that little indent there. But you're good. You got a good size pattern there. This is nice.
Oh, okay. So now
Now we're gonna take it. We're gonna slide the pattern down.
I'll slide it down.
Yep, because we need to tuck below the bottom seal a little bit. So we're gonna look at the inside and see about how much we have to go. Not very far.
Not like this much, or-
That's actually pretty far down, believe it or not. So it was here. What I would do, just to make it a little bit easier, I'd probably pull it down that much. Like so, and then just, you can almost use this trim piece as a guide too, and just keep like equal distance from, it's like just a little bit past the chrome, a little bit past the chrome on that side, and then overlap. So before we roll it down too, spray the film and just tack it in place right there, and then we'll do the top edge. hold the film and then tack it because it's going to want to move. Yep. There. Do you want to use that carbon blade for the cut, or are you like using the metal knife?
I'll use the carbon blade, but the metal knife, I'm pretty good with cutting with it now too.
Okay. So let me swap out the blade on that then. Where'd the snapper go?
Probably in here.
Uh-oh. Yeah, see if you can find it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, perfect. I'll swap this out really quick, get it back to you. How many cars did you do before you felt you can tint? I mean, I really didn't feel competent until I was tinting for about a year, honestly. But, you know, I could still tint cars, but it was kind of my full-time job to tint, and so I just kind of failed forward. So I had a really interesting setup starting tinting. So it happened to be my dad's company. He wasn't a tinter, but that's kind of how I just got into it. He hired somebody to teach me, and then after I trained with him for a little while, I was kind of left. I was left on my own. 1 second. All right, maybe that'll be a little bit better. Do the cars belong to the students? So the Malibu over there, that belongs to Jack, my recent hire. So it's part of the shop, thankfully, but we can make some mistakes, but you know, he's got to live with those mistakes, so I just want him to turn out nice. So there's the knife with the new blade in it. And yeah, just start on that side and come back over. Nice. Good. That looked consistent. Nice job. The only bit is where it's locked down on the window right now.
Well, so like I cut this edge and then I pulled it over a little bit.
Okay. Then you got to pull it back over this way.
Before I cut that one.
Mm,
So so it was where it was. I cut this edge.
and then you drag it over.
And I dragged it over and then
Cut that side.
cut that side.
And then you drag it. So you drag it back over so there's an even amount of overlap.
Okay.
You can still kind of compensate for it at this point.
Okay.
Uh,
Drag it back in the middle.
yeah. Can you bring a sprayer over here? And then we'll have you both on different sprayers. Because
Another keg or
Yeah, one of the keg sprayers. I mean, there should be a few of them all kind of filled up. Where's my keg? Yeah, because they got all theirs. Yes, that one. So you need some spray, that's for sure. So yeah, you're gonna move it back over. So the main reason you shift it back is because when you make your top cut, you want to line your top cut where you cut it. So if your pattern was here and your top cut was here, then when you line it up on the inside, you're going to have a gap here. Overlapping it on both sides and then making your top cut means that the pattern's going to be here. So that's really the only difference. This looks like a good amount of overlap on both sides. That's nice. So we can just shift it up just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and just recut this really quick. And then you can round the corners and continue the install. So, but that's where you want to see a little bit of even overlap on both sides. So there's that. And if you need any extra tools or something, because oh, that squeegee's terrible. Let me give you a better squeegee. I know I got more of those. They're floating around here somewhere. I got this is before. That's okay. We'll probably have them use that one. I know I had like a shop one sitting around here rather than Ooh, we got extra blade though. Just relocated to a new city. Some of my wife's jobs. I'm starting a tint biz, so I don't have family or friends yet to practice on their cars. What you suggest before practicing? So you're gonna want to definitely practice on your own car a lot. It sucks that you don't really have a lot of other things to practice on, but you can learn so much off of just your own car. I see a lot of people, they tint their car once, and then they kind of, that's it, right? They tinted the car. Well, you're always going to be faster. You're always going to be better. Repeat practice on your own car. So there's so many concepts and similarities that I can take right from this Malibu over to this Altima here. So the more I just practice on one car, you'll be really confident going into, your first paying job. So there, use this one. It's going to be much better. That blade sucks. Whoa. What? Careful with handling the film, tossing it around. Yeah, it's a little down. So the edge on here is going to be a little bit funny, yeah. It just got cut a little bit down. So next time, it's generally good to overshoot on your cut and then trim it back down. But yeah, not.
I was trying to straighten it up.
And then it
The
just.
straight edge movement, I just cut a little bit too much.
Okay. Yep. So just a little more practice. So spray the window real quick for me. Then I want to set this a lot different.
Yeah.
Night and day difference on that squeegee.
First pass with one of these, and yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that other one was an Amazon special. It's just kind of sitting on the shelf there. It's not good. So we'll set this up, and I'll help you out with shrinking. Just gonna snap shrink it.
For these,
Let me-
front windows, I have the plotter, so I'm going to be using the plotter, so I just want to know how to hand cut, just in case the plotter fails on me one time.
Right. But we gotta go through some more steps too, because you messed up shrinking it too. So shrinking's gonna be part of it.
Yeah.
So there isn't much to shrink on these really, but we're gonna start with the easier way to shrink, and then we'll move into snap shrinking a little bit later. So with the fingers there, grab a, oh, yep, there's one. Scraps on the car.
Oh my God.
Okay, so shrinking these fingers are a lot easier than kind of learning how to snap shrink. So what you're gonna do is you basically wet down the window, kind of do a rainbow squeegee and squeegee most of the water out, and then you'll be left with these fingers here sitting on the glass. So there isn't a lot to shrink on this one, but you're gonna hold the heat gun, you're gonna get it to zigzag like that, and then just press it out, and now it's smaller. Just shrink that part, and then press it out. Shrink that part, press it out. Once you do that, just to be a little extra sure, you can lift it, let it drop, just take the heat gun, just kind of tighten up the bottom a little bit. See that finger right there? Shrink that. Press it out. This is how I first learned how to shrink windows, but I didn't know the other method. I didn't know snap shrinking. So I'll just go along the entire bottom and then get all that shrunk. So that's all set, ready to install, and then on the next one I'll have you go through and shrink that one. So I just want to kind of move forward with the main things, which is going to be the installation and then back to hand cutting again. So, yep.
So we're going to install this one?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. We're going to go through and install this one, and then we'll pull this one off and do it again. So also having a stool here would help a lot too. If you want something to sit on, it'll just put you at a little better angle and stuff for the cleaning and whatnot. So if you want to grab one, you can. All right. How's this one going?
About to shrink.
Okay.
You gotta cut the corner.
Okay. Cool. Looking good. How you doing over here?
Difficult.
Yeah? That S-curve is a little tricky.
Yeah, and then this.
These mirrors, they might push out of the way a little bit too.
Pull this way.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I don't try and muscle them too much, but oh, there we go. Yep, there you go. A lot of mirrors will swing back. If it really, you have to really fight with it to do it, then I just leave it be. But yeah, that'll help you usually free up a little bit more space.
Do this one again.
Okay.
This is pretty sticky too. It doesn't slide as easy.
Oh, really?
Unless I'm not keeping enough stuff on it.
That might be it. So there we go. I'll leave it kind of positioned that way. And then you're gonna cut that side first. So yeah, tack it in place and then you can make your first cut. Just so it doesn't slide, or if it is kind of screwing you up. What you looking for?
My card.
Oh, tack it in place with the with this. Yep. And spray it first. So these squeegees, like if the tint wasn't sprayed, they kind of have a little drag to them. So I always spray the tint and then drag it over the tint or tack it down. Yeah. So yeah, for this cut, just getting this portion cut to kind of line up with this is totally fine. And then we'll drag it over this way and then make this cut. And then you can also make that cut there, then drag it over, make that cut, and then drag the whole thing back and down. Ooh, less blade out too. So
That's the-
when you're making the side cuts, only just put a little bit of blade out and just make sure the blade is nice and sharp. That way it's not gonna ride up on the blade. So I'm gonna go a little higher with it. So like right up here. There you go. Still gonna be okay. And then
It's okay right there. It's just gonna get.
yeah, it's not super pretty, but it's all gonna get tucked into the sides.
Okay.
You got a lot of room to work with. So make this cut too while it's here. So what you wanna do is just kind of start in here. The S-curve's a little bit tricky, but again, just a small amount of blade. And then as this part slices off, it'll basically, if I just try and press in it now, it's gonna try and pick this film up, but once it's cut, it should all kind of fall into place as you go.
Don't hold it, right? Just let the.
Yep. Yep. And if it starts to pull up there, just definitely want to make sure it's loosened up a little bit. There you go. Nice. Yep. So there you go. Nice cut. Okay, so now drag it over to the left. These seals, I'll show you on the inside too. You've got a lot of room to work with these seals. So your trim on the outside is like here, and you can tuck it all the way in there.
Okay.
You don't have to go that far, but
I
you
don't
got a
mind
lot
that.
of room on the inside of F-150s. So loosen it. So you tack to the glass, just pick the film back up, spray a little water back there, and then it'll free up and you'll be able to drag it over this way. You'll probably drag it over all the way to like here.
Okay.
And then make that cut over there after you do that. You ready to shrink? Cool. So respray the window. So you're gonna notice while you're tinting, like you're just gonna have to spray the window a lot because every time you pick it up, the water is like sliding off the window. It's starting to dry up. So you're always gonna have to spray to like reposition stuff and kind of like freshen it up. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna shrink it kind of like the other window on the other side. So I'm gonna make some of these fingers just pop up a little bit extra if I can. This used to work better for me. again. Because Malibus are like reasonably flat. They don't need to be shrunk a whole heck of a lot. But one thing I would do was I would make these fingers just a little bit more pronounced. So that way I knew I was always shrinking enough, but that's why I ended up moving to like snap shrinking. So let's grab a heat gun.
And look for that Z-line.
That's right. Make a zigzag, press it down, and then all the other little ones, press them down. Yep. Yeah, I honestly made that finger a little bit tall. So I can also start stretching it out and kind of dividing it up a little bit. But yeah, this, you can actually also kind of go from the center, kind of divide them up too. There you go. Nice. Yep. You know exactly what you're looking for. Yep. And that was the only thing about the install too. Everything else seemed to be going really well.
I think the biggest thing is just overcutting it a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, a little tint piece. Yeah, that'll come out. All right. Now, yep, just finish up the little ones. The little bits at the bottom are always the most stubborn, so you always got to get the heat gun a little closer for those, but as long as they lay flat, then they'll lay flat on the inside. Nice. That's good. Perfect. Nice job.
Alright, this time don't peel off the whole thing.
Yes, just half the liner. Nice. Oh, dang. We're installing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, this is really sticking, isn't it? All right, let me swing over in here, and then you can get a good look at it. So instead of all the way up here, I roll it right below that liner. And then so I got a nice big flat spot. And then I'm going to tuck that over into the side. And then make sure it's all kind of lined up here. So there's no seal here, so this side is way easier than that side.
Yeah. So I tried that side first, you know, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. And then you can squeegee that out and continue with the bottom. All right. Here. Gonna step in here. Yep. Okay. You can let go. So when I'm trying to tuck these in, tucking's always another tricky part.
So you start from the right side of the...
Not necessarily. You can start from one side or the other, but this is what it's going to look like when you first peel that liner, right? Oh, get me a towel. It's literally running a ripper into the switch. Okay. So, and do you have a shank? Oh yeah, that green one. There we go. So what I'm going to do is set this up for tucking. So what I want to do is see how it's kind of rolled up this way. So if you pull it from kind of like a few inches in, what's going to happen is it's going to then pull out of the seal and then start to roll back inwards. I'm going to push that up against the glass. Same thing with this side. If it's rolled inward, just gonna pull it farther and then get it so it kind of rolls the other way. And then you can push this corner up against the glass. And then I'm gonna tuck one corner in a little bit,
Push it in.
and then another corner, it's just, you're gonna sneak it in a little bit. So then it starts pressing against the paneling here. From there, I pick the whole thing up. So it's sitting, yep, so you got an air tunnel here, it's sitting right above the seal. So now when I go back to one of these corners, you can put the shank all the way in that seal and use some pressure, pull that back, and then yeah, this whole thing will then drop down into your seal. So I'm gonna pull this back out, I'm gonna let you do it. So, and then we'll end up cutting and redoing this one anyways. But the biggest trick is letting these things roll in, and you'll push them up against the window, and then just tuck a little bit, get that tunnel, and then start on one side and work your way over. All right, here, I'll let you get in there. There you go, like that. So then you can get that corner flat against the glass and then tuck it in. And then that one's kind of already set up to do it. So from there, remember we gotta pick up the center a little bit. So you can start on one of the edges and kind of get it to finesse against the window. Here you go. All right. This should be pretty close. And then, hang on, I'm gonna make one adjustment here. So what you need to do, let me see the shank. What you need to do is put the shank into the seal, and then keep your right hand freeing up the seal, and then your left hand is gonna do the tucking on this side of it.
Oh.
And so what you can do to kind of pull it into the seal is you kind of put pressure this way. So you press up against the glass and pull it this way, and then as you go across with the shank, you can kind of
Go in, right, yeah.
tuck the film as you go.
Like that.
Yep, freeing up the seal ahead, and then you're kind of tucking a little bit behind. There you go, yep, just like that. And anywhere that you hear that film, you can hear it kind of scraping against the seal a little bit. Yep, you're getting all that film tucked in there. Perfect. Now, get that, bring the shank back up. Because you're at that last little bit there. Just make sure that whole roll goes in the seal. There you go. Now you can squeegee it out. And also try and keep in mind, squeegee the film out from like the center out. So you want the,
Center out.
well,
Yeah, now it's
so spray the window too.
yeah.
So you don't want to take air and go all the way from this side and drag it all the way over there. It's already close to this side, so you might as well push it out that way. So if you stay in the center and kind of work your way out, you're moving all the film towards like the exit that it's closest to, right? You don't want to have to drag it all the way back over.
Thank you.
There. And then you're not going to get any air streaks and stuff. It's going to look a lot better. All right, I got to run back over here. Wait. We got to roll the window up. It's looking good. Yep, go ahead and roll it up. Should be fine. Nice. All right, now spray underneath, because rolling it up drags some shit up with it. There we go. And now you can peel the rest of your liner. And then just pull it straight down. Don't, yeah, pull it straight down because you're trying to pull your film off with the glass. So you got to hold the tint to the glass and just pull the liner straight down. You don't want to pull off all the work that you just did. Yep. Oh, nice, you got it. What's up?
So with this,
Yes.
I got it cut.
Okay.
Where am I gonna start tucking? I gotta clean this still and wet it.
Uh-huh.
Put the top down. Am I gonna tuck down this way?
Yeah, so I'll leave, basically, I'll pull the liner down to about here on this side, and it'll be about here on this side. It'll be a little angled, but you'll still have a straight line.
Get it started here,
Mhm.
inside, work it down with the shank, right?
Yep, so we'll install this part, roll it up, and then when it comes to this part, really,
You gotta bubble it.
yep, you can still roll it up. It's actually, because of the way they do the seal, it's not too challenging to tuck the film in into a curve like that. But let me know when you're up to that point, and I'll help you through tucking that portion. But I think you probably will do good on the top. Nice. There we go. Sorry, it's just a little. I didn't do anything. Oh, cool. That glue got cleaned off. Did you use any adhesive remover, or was it already off?
No, most of it they did, or what they just missed some spots on it.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I got that glue remover hanging around too if you need it. Cool. All right, we'll get this set up. Dang, we might actually get a Malibu tinted today. Cool.
Was this day 3 cause they learning quick?
Was this day 3 because they're learning quick? Yeah, this is day 3. Excuse me. Forgot some names really quick. I just need refreshers. Mike has looks like he's been tinting before, but he tells me he never has tinted before. Who else we got here? Landon also. Landon, you haven't tinted before. Like, you literally, both of you guys literally hadn't tinted before, and you just came here, right? Yeah, that's cool to see. They both watched some videos, but yeah, they're taking to it pretty quickly, which is cool to see. Joseph, he's tinted just a handful of cars off of a plotter, but a short plotter too. So it was mostly like door windows. What we really needed to work on, especially, was like he wanted to work on shrinking and hand cutting, which is important for everybody. And then, God, what was it? Raul, how long have you been tinting for?
I mean, I only started practicing,
Uh-huh.
never continued. I have an idea how to do it.
Okay.
Heat shrinking was an issue with me.
Yeah.
Besides that, everything was good.
Cool. Yep. And you already got that door and the quarter installed too.
He put this one in the back with the dry towel on it.
Yep. Yep. We'll get some dryer sheet and some glass aid on here. Yeah, they're all doing really well. There's it's hard to explain really because there's so much that is explained in the videos, but when you see really in person those little adjustments, it's just, I swear, people see everything a little bit differently. So some people just take to it a little bit faster than others. But when you have just a little bit of in-person guidance on all those like little critical steps and reminders, it just makes a big difference early on. All right, so you want to do this with the rest of it? Just go ahead and outline it. And then, yeah, a little bit of glue up there that we'll take care of too. Oh, yeah. I got seconds. What's up? Okay, so the way I'd pick it up, just to make it easy, is you can pick it up with your left hand and then, yeah, scoop it up off of the glass. There you go. So that way you're at least facing the right direction. And then you can bring that down a little farther because you got, like, a lot of that window drops into the seal. You can roll it up onto the window. Okay, here you go. So if it's sticking on you, I'll kind of push it up from a little bit lower and almost get like a roll in it, and then kind of, yep.
Crooked. Not the best cut.
Oh, it might have twisted on you while you're making that cut then. That's what it looks like happened. So when you were cutting it, it probably started to shift during that cut. Probably just wasn't completely tacked in place right. So I would still go through, install this, and then we'll recut another one. But yeah, that's exactly what probably happened. But no, go ahead, squeegee the rest of it. So we're gonna have to take care of the top part, and then we're going to roll the window up, and then we're gonna pull out the liner and then tuck the rest of it in. So the top part always gets basically like completely installed ahead of time. Oh my God, it's on the glass. Look at this. This is your third day. This looks good.
I'm really good at confidence.
Humble brag. All right, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna see the top edge here. Just want to make sure you're gonna give your window a chance so it won't peel. We'll look at it. Little hang up there. It's really good. I think you're just pushed over slightly on the edge, like just a hair. So when I drag my finger across it, I can feel it. But I want to be careful because I don't want to peel it back. I think it would still stick though. I think it's just floating that line there. It is nice and clean though. Like this whole thing looks super clean. Nice job, man. That's awesome. It's like spotless too. It's like the whole window. Like that's what you want to go for. So you just get that like vibe of it being super clean, right? When you walk up to it. I don't see any creases in it. I don't see any dirt patches. There is maybe a speck here or there. Like, oh, yeah.
Or no, that's the outside.
Is that the outside? Let's see. See just a couple
Right there.
little,
That's outside.
like this could probably get pressed out a little bit, just a little bit crinkled. Nice job, man. That looks awesome. I'd say leave it and,
Leave it.
well, yes. I mean, I think we're farther along than I thought we were, than we would be. As everybody's kind of working on their own windows right now. So if you want to retry it, or if you want to leave it, like either one is okay. We have the Ultima 2 to work on, and we might, I don't know, are we going to go as far as doing the windshield? I'll have you probably do the reverse roll on this one, but let's knock out that door first, and then once we get that door all set. Yeah, a little bit. So definitely a gap there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It should have gotten pushed over a little bit farther this way. Overall, pretty good. That top edge is a lot better too. So yeah, it was a little bit sloped here. And then on this part, this is a little bit pushed up from the other one. So you always want to be careful. You either want to see a small gap, or like when you drag over with your finger, if you can physically drag it down, that's just pushed over a little bit too far. So I would have just dropped it down a little bit more. Let's redo this one just one more time, and then we'll do the reverse rolling and stuff like that. But you are very close. Yep, there you go. Yep, just do it one more time. Doing good. Well, if you want me to cut it, I have no problem cutting one out. If you want to learn it, though. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll cut it out. Yeah, just follow along. Let's get a roll of film. Sure thing. This is 15. Now it's nothing. It's gone. It's dead. Yeah, let's grab this. All right. I don't know why I cut a sliver off of it, but I did at some point. I wonder if that's enough though. Ooh, I think I got space there. All right. So I always like cutting on the passenger side and double cutting. So I'm more unfamiliar with cutting on the driver's side just out of habit. So that's where it's kind of nice if you learn double cutting and you learn how to cut always on the same side. You can basically train yourself almost a little bit faster because you keep like the same motions. So when I tint a back window, I'm always jumping in on the passenger side of the car. I'm not jumping back and forth between the driver's side and the passenger side.
You double cut on the both front and back windows?
Yes. Saves time. Rather than individually cutting 4 patterns, you cut 2 patterns and then you get 4. All right, so let's start with this side. Little notch and kind of like push it over there. Go straight down. And now watching this time around, you've already hand cut quite a bit now. So you watch for those little differences and reminders. Pick it up over the seal, drag it over. And then on this side, you made a really good cut. Yep. The only reason I go bottom to top on this one is just because the mirror's in the way. If I was on that back door, I have nothing in the way. And drag it back over. And then we're going to slide this down some. Let me tack it in place first. So, hang on one sec. Let me line this up. Yep, always gotta tack it in place. Because, yep, if we roll it down, it'll move. And then also pick it up off the bottom so it doesn't snag anything. There you go. Perfect. And you got that, that black blade for me? Sweet. We're gonna line this up here. There we go. And now we're gonna do our corners.
So do you tack it while you're cutting it, or no?
Not for the corners, but anytime you feel it sliding, if it's more annoying, like if you're trying to cut something and the tint's just wiggling around, definitely tack it. Tacking it is just a way to, you're just holding things in place so you can do what you need to do. So on these longer ones too, I'm just gonna go straight up first, and then I'm gonna try and meet it over.
To where it's like
Yep.
messed up? Oh, okay. So you cut it straight and then you start it from where it's straight to where it's...
It's easier to do it that way. So sometimes you have to flip a pattern around a little bit. So let's say I was on the passenger side and the pattern is backwards. So, or on this one, for example, if I, like naturally cutting in this direction, it's a little bit harder to guess where that point is when you're starting all the way over here. But if you can start here and then drag it over, so I would just position my tint in a spot that's easier for me to cut and then either drag it over that way, or I would physically take the pattern, flip it around, move it over here, and then make that cut. And it would be a lot easier to do it that way. Yep. So, and then we're gonna round it off. And then we're gonna go straight up. And then now we don't have to travel as far on this cut.
And I just wanted to see that trick you showed me yesterday to install it inside, how like you made it straight, you know, like you took the corner and you straightened the, like you folded it kind of, but you didn't fold it.
Oh yeah, for installing?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You showed me that trick yesterday and it like popped in place right away. I've never seen that one before.
All right. So we'll snap this real quick.
this one, if you keep too much, if you heat it up too much, it's gonna burn right away.
It's good. Yeah, it'll burn, and also with snap shrinking, what's going to happen is there's going to be too much tension. So you're trying to curl the film a little bit, but you just don't want to. You don't want to get it to pull too tight. So if I spray here, it should be relatively easy to press this down, and then it all locks down on the bottom. But if I do this and there's still fingers and stuff on the bottom, like maybe one teeny tiny one, I'm gonna pick up my heat gun again. I'm gonna pick that little area back up, and I'm just gonna tighten it up just a teeny bit. That should be good. All right, so part of the install, right? Okay, I'm gonna round that a little bit more. See how this kind of rolls in here, like this round? Want to kind of match those up too, so I'm gonna round this just a little bit tighter. There we go. Something like that should be pretty close. Okay, so this window is gonna be mostly clean. Can you grab me that towel? Since the plastic has fallen off, what I want to mainly do is ensure the switches are covered up. That's the main thing. So there's that. So this has already been cleaned off. I'll wipe my hand over it and double check. Cool. And we're gonna squeegee it from top to bottom. So left to right, but we're moving from top to bottom, and we're doing overlapping strokes just to make sure everything's nice and clean. And then flush out the side really quick. Spray an even layer. Hop over on the outside. And then we're gonna peel this down. We're gonna go about halfway and halfway. Then picking it up, I'm gonna pick it up from here. I'm gonna put my arm underneath it and scoop it off the glass. You should be able to just hold it with one hand. Yep. And then your free hand, you then can scoop it up too, kind of bring it over, and now it's nice and balanced. And I'm gonna worry about the long edge first. Tuck that up on the glass. And you'll notice that the front side is literally hanging off the window right now. I don't need to worry about that yet. All I need to worry about is really just getting this edge started here. So I can roll up the tint portion. And then is this what you're talking about, leaving this flat against the glass?
Yeah.
So all that side is flat against the glass, and then that will allow, when you push it over, it'll allow it to slide nice and easily into the seal. The only thing it's doing right now is kind of sticking to the window. Did you change up your soap?
Yeah, I just changed it up.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Maybe I didn't put enough.
I saw you put in quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's still sticking some though. So this is, honestly,
Some fell out, that's why.
yeah, so when it starts to bind up on the glass, like sometimes it'll pick little spots and grab to it. So you kind of need to shift it around until it frees up. But whenever you're trying to just slide it over and it's grabbing on the glass, that's not really your fault. That just is how sticky the window is. So you have to kind of learn to accommodate for that if it's happening, because that was definitely a little bit sticky. And then sometimes when it settles in, it'll finally start floating on the glass a little bit. So, so from here, this is overlapping the paneling. So rather than just like trying to like crunch it up and shove it in here, the way that I try and pick it up is I create a tunnel farther back. So I'll pick it up, the tin up maybe from this point here, kind of hold it and then get it to like bow off the glass. And then you can kind of roll it a little bit, and now this is nice and flat against the window. All the bunch of material is back here now. So then that gives me the space, curl that up, and then tuck that over. Now I'm in the seal, and then it's a matter of literally just stretching out my pattern, and then getting it in place, but this is sticking like a son of a bitch. Yeah, you can hear it just. There we go.
It was the dawn. I think it was the dawn came right out of it, like we were putting it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the dawn.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I would have added a little bit extra Dawn.
Like I did a couple of squares, but I don't think I put enough, probably.
Okay. So, and then we're gonna tack it. And from here, you can, I gotta have you do something. So I should have you at least try and tuck this in. I'll help guide you through that part. So squeegee it from the center out. And kind of follow my top edge, make sure that it's close. So again, with this top edge, it's pretty close to the top, but I can do this across the whole thing.
And it won't come off.
Yep, and it's not gonna fall off. That's the main goal. Get it as close as you can, and then when you, it should stick. Then we're gonna roll it up, and now I'm gonna help you through this part. Yep, flush that down. All right, so when we peel the liner off, yep, hold the film. Peel the liner portion. There you go. And then move your hand over there. Yep. There you go. And always support the film. How'd it go? Yeah? You tucked it okay, it seems. Do you want me to check it over? Yeah, if you want to. Okay. All right, one more thing. Spray the film. I'm gonna help him through this really quick. Okay. Don't just force it. You're doing the right thing. You're pulling it back from here, but let it do this, and then now you can scoop it up from here. But you're looking for the right thing. That's good. Yep. And you can tuck just the corner in a little bit. It's really helpful to get that roll started. Okay. And then go to the other side. You gotta do the same thing with the other corner. Just kind of get it set up. So you're gonna pull it from like farther back, and then it's gonna get it to flip, and then just push up the corner onto there.
It's getting kind of sticky.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's enough. Yep. And now you're just gonna focus on, like, let go of the shank for a second, like just set that down, and then you can use both your thumbs, set up the rest of the film. So from here, from like a flat spot against the glass. It's okay. It's all right. It got there. Okay. Now jump back to this corner, because now you can see that clear air tunnel there. Yep. Tuck that into the seal. Yep. And you can also start pushing down. Yes. There it goes. All right. There you go. Nice. There you go. Yep. Whew. We got there. Yep. Now squeegee it out, and again start more in like the center, and always make sure you kind of work everything out from like the middle out. So you left some air pockets right here. There you go.
Is this the Pro Classic?
This is actually carbon. Yep. Yep. You guys are doing 5% C2.
What did we practice with the first day? Pro Classic?
Pro Classic, yep. So there's gonna be I mean, as far as shrinking, installing, there's little differences, but they kind of feel very similar. Similar enough. Nice. Okay. Sick. This looks good. So I think this was the one with the top edge, though, right? So we just never roll it down. We just always leave it up. And how was tugging that? You actually got it pretty far down there, too. That's where I would leave it.
Bad, as long as this one got started.
Yeah, that starts first, and then you kind of work your way over. This looks great, man.
So, yeah, I hit that with my knife a little bit.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I didn't really notice a crease, but that, yeah, little knife mark or something. This is really clean. That's really good. So literally all you have to do next time is when you go to cut that top edge, just tack it a little bit more firmer, and I'll always wiggle my pattern to see if it's stuck, because if it still is moving on you, you just need to tack it a little bit harder. And then when you make that cut, it'll be nice and clean. This is great. All your gaps are super covered. And then bottom edge, it all looks clean. You did nice work on this one.
So I still want to do the windshield. Should I do this again now, or do that and then come back to it?
What time is it? We're 12. I would probably jump over there, do that, because we're gonna spend a fair amount of time on the windshield, and we'll hit this. We'll try and hit this with a clean pattern at the end of it.
Okay. Hopefully this one will be right.
Sweet. Yes. So we're gonna use this roll right here. We're gonna do some more 5.
Was that a 48?
This one is. Yep. No particular reason. But here you go. Yeah, no particular reason. Just I kind of ordered. They were only selling 40s and 20s at the time. Oh, I would do it opposite. I would just leave the top, like bring it down, and then just worry about the top, so you get the roll closer to you. Yep. Yep. And on a lot of cars, even with a 36-inch roll, you usually have a nice strip here that you can actually use for the quarter windows a lot of time too. So it'll kind of save some film. All right, how you doing?
Pretty good. I was gonna be on a pattern, but
Okay.
you can look at my install. I did this in the quarter.
Heck yeah! Oh, and the quarter.
Yeah, well, I didn't cut
Oh
the quarter.
shit! Look at you go.
He just gave it. I just.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps out. That's like a plotter pattern. That's clean.
I did the wrong side, put it backwards on the other side.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wrong one.
There's like one little speck in the center that I just kind of knocked a little air out. There's like one teeny little like bend here that could be pressed out too. That looks clean, man. There's no like, usually on quarters you'll have a fair amount of dirt up here that'll wash out from inside the seal. This is nice and clean. Good job. Same thing for this door window. It's clean.
I don't know how it's clean. I just washed it out, like. But yeah.
That's the best response. I don't know how, but it is. So the only thing, oh damn, yeah, this actually looks, oh, we're overlapped a little bit. So I've been seeing this.
It moved on me. So like,
Ah.
I squeegeed the top right, and then like, I don't.
It must have, well, were you pushing up to squeegee it?
So it was fine. I set it and everything.
Okay.
But then when I rolled the window up then, and
Yeah.
then when I was playing with like pulling the liner off the bottom and then trying to like bow it and tuck these corners.
Yeah.
It moved.
Ah, okay, okay. So you can tack it in place, but sometimes it's not completely stuck. So you can either wait, or you can also hit the top corners with a little bit of heat, or just press them out a couple more times. What I always recommend doing is after you squeegee the top edge, give the tint a little wiggle on the sides, and then if you see it wiggling, that means there's a good chance it'll start to shift on you. But if it doesn't wiggle at all, that means it's pretty locked in place and you can just roll it up and you're good to go. So we'll definitely have to redo this one just because of that. It's just not gonna last.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna slowly peel off, pull in a bunch of dirt. It's not gonna look very good. But it looks really, really solid. Like everything is very clean. Yeah, nice work, man.
Cool. Thanks.
Cool. All right, so yeah, peel that one off before it gets too stuck, and then we'll throw this piece on and get it going.
How does that one look?
You got it all tucked nice. I wasn't around for that part, was I? I got distracted. Okay, there's like one, like being critical, there's like a little, I think there's like a little, like a small hair or something that got stuck in there somehow.
Yeah, it looks like a hair.
Yeah, a little hair right there. That's really minor. This little guy, we're gonna push that out. That looks good. You did a nice job tucking this. That's exactly what you want to see. And I cut this, so you went far enough down. Yeah, this looks good. Nice job. Sweet. Progress.
I'll just wait. Should I wait for them so I can go to the windshield and shrink? Or should I just try setting it up?
No, you can set it up. We can do the windshield on that one, I think, is what we're going to end up doing. Oh, okay. He's still taping. I'm gonna roll this up then. If the felt is wet, it's not gonna stick too.
Like not do the tape then, or?
No, you can do it. Actually, it seems okay. You can try and stick it and see if it'll stick. If not, you could take a heat gun and kind of warm it up a little bit. Don't put too much heat on it, but just kind of enough to dry it out. And then this is your film right here. That's for that door window. Look at that. You're getting a carbon tint job.
Call this a master class?
It's the master class, I guess. Yeah, they're doing good work, man. I'm really proud of what's going on here.
Through a breaker. You know which one is for that plug?
Oh, I do now. The first class, we were spending 3 hours trying to figure out what would breaker. Actually, I don't. Usually, maybe this one? Oh, there, that one. I think so. That one was definitely popped. My furnace? I think it's something different. Not that one? Maybe it was I think there's... No, there... I know there was one around here. Maybe it was just another breaker again. Hang on. Try that one. No, this is storage room lights. It's probably not that one. Why is my furnace off? Oh boy. When it rains, it pours. I want to say there was a... Oh, this is bad. Oh, that would be over by the washroom, actually. There was one here. But I think this one's still working okay. Yeah, switch plugs for now. Oh yeah, this whole thing. Oh no, this one works. Yeah, go ahead and use this one for now, and I'll try and figure it out in a little bit. Yeah, this will be fine. As far as that one, I'll probably just plug it in somewhere else.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll see if I can figure out what's going on. If it's not one thing, it's another. Where's this one go? Oh, this goes all the way back through. I didn't realize it went all the way back through. You know, 4 heat guns. 4 heat guns is all the way a lot. Can you do me a favor and hand me that heat gun? Can you hand me that heat gun right below you? I just don't want to drag it through your truck. Aha. Oh no, electrical issues. Well, one of these popped somewhere, and I'm not entirely sure, because we had this, and believe it or not, we had this happen in the first class, and this was super irritating, because I also have like a live stream going, so if I pop too many breakers, then down goes the house. But I don't really see any that are popped right now, so we're just gonna have to come back to this another time. We got class to teach. See, and I walk away for 2 seconds, and I already have a back window shrunk. Yep, that's all good. So I'm just gonna pick this up. I'm gonna try and direct it a little bit down. Mostly I'm just trying to create a little bit of bigger pocket here to tighten this side up a little bit more. And then hit this area with some heat. Nice. There you go. Yep, that looks a lot cleaner. Yep, that should
And then
work.
once we take off, or once we cut it,
Hit just this little bit. So I just flatten this out a smidge, and so just tighten it up a little bit there. Okay, cool. Yep, and now you guys can cut it out. Let me grab you a light.
For the windshield,
Can you use, or can you explain the techniques to use when cutting the top line? Yeah, for sure. We're mostly pretty far away with, pretty far done with the doors, except for this one back here. So we will talk about that in a little bit. So here's a light. I mean, if you can see it and cut it without it, that's great. I just bring that over here. So if you need the light for anything, then what you can do is just shine it through. I kind of like reflect it away from me, and then it brightens up that line a little bit more. So limo, depending on the lighting, is hard to see. But yeah, go ahead and trim that all the way around. Then I'll have this sitting over here. Cool. Well, oh my God.
Okay.
Yep, that's why liners turn into tripping hazards. So we don't have a border.
Oh.
We gotta shift it.
Yeah.
I would just redo that one right now. I'll put it out a fair amount. Yeah. Yep. Right about there. Good. What do we do for food on the third day? Because I probably should have had something ordered already. We ended up doing Jimmy John's twice last time because I wasn't sure what to get. First day, Jimmy John's. Second day, pizza. Third day, I don't know. Is there any particular foods you guys like? Doesn't matter? That's what most people tell me. You need somebody to make a decision. Any type of food? Oh,
Have you ever tried Casper's?
no, what is it?
There's one on 18 they just opened up, but they had one before. It's like burgers and stuff like that.
Ooh, we do burgers.
They have like fries too, like hot Cheetos and their own sauce and cheese and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you notice this window's really dusty right now. So first thing is always to wipe it off. Usually scrub it, but I know we scrubbed it a lot yesterday. Just want to make sure before you put dryer sheet and stuff on this, at least the dust is all wiped off.
So the plastic doesn't have to be perfect, right?
No, really you just want to mask the entire border. And one way, here, just 1 second, let me get this. One way I'll make it a little bit easier to apply is I'll actually flip the roll sideways too. So instead of doing this, you can do this and you can get the roll closer to the glass. That way when you press it down, it's already kind of there. Then you just keep unrolling it as you go. But it does take a little bit of time.
Yeah, well,
So you just need to outline that border, and then anywhere that you cut in here, you're
a little bit further away.
yep, you're totally fine.
Perfect.
Yep. So just keep going around.
What do you think about me like unrolling it and then like trying to like close one eye and then like rolling a bunch at one time? Like,
However you can apply it is totally fine. Like you can do it farther out. That's usually what I'll do is I'll kind of do it in sections, kind of pull it and like let it slack ahead of time and just pull a little farther out and keep going. But yeah, just keep going with it.
thank you.
Ice skating. Yeah, I know. I keep mentioning liners on the floor turn into tripping hazards. I got tripped up on a tank and landed on a liner, and I started to do the splits. Some people are saying pizza, wings, Burger King. What was the place that you said? Casper's.
Casper's and Coco Lava. They just opened on 18 now.
On 18? Okay. So you think they do they do delivery or DoorDash? Yeah, because we got to get it here. We gotta see if we can DoorDash this. Let me see. Let me log in here first.
They probably don't.
Okay. Burgers is a good idea, though. Oh, yeah, I remember. We ended up doing, like, Smash Burger before. But they ended up, like, smashing the burgers. They have delivery?
Yeah, they do have it on DoorDash.
Okay. Let me, Alright, let me try this. Stop. There we go. We're trying to get some food here. So... Casper's Burgers.
So that one's the one on like 14 mile.
Oh. Is this one bad?
No, but like there's one closer, so
Oh, okay.
$7.
Romeo Plank. Super Taco. I'm not seeing any other ones.
They probably didn't open it on DoorDash yet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Probably.
All right. Let me check out burgers then.
Yeah.
Burgers is a pretty good idea. Then we can start getting a food order together. There is the Burger King. Checkers. Five Guys might be worth doing. Ooh, oh, dang. You can do Shake Shack. What do we do, guys? Wild Burger. I've never heard of Wild Burger. Shake Shack's good, but Shake Shack's also messy.
Yeah. Savvy sliders.
I wasn't... They were okay. Like, they...
Yeah, they're decent.
They're decent. They're kind of expensive for what they are. We ended up swinging there. Five Guys, I think, might be the way to go. Just trying Five Guys again. We did Smash Burger, and they, like, legitimately smashed all the burgers. They were just kind of in a big lump in the bag.
Pick it up and then like everything falls out.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think we'll probably give Five Guys a chance here. If anything, we'll get a million fries, right? Wild Burger. Is Wild Burger good? I've never heard of it. What tin are we doing on the Malibu? So we're doing 5% carbon on the Malibu. Cheeseburger, bacon burger, bacon cheeseburger, little hamburger. So I'm just gonna do a cheeseburger. It's the #1 most liked. So it's gotta be pretty good. Unlimited toppings. Well, what comes on it? So lettuce, tomato, onions, ketchup. I used to like jalapenos, but jalapenos doesn't like me anymore. And I'll just stick with water for today and regular fries. And then 13. Oh, dang. These are going to be like $20. Oh, my God. Oh, this is going to be an expensive one today. All right. You guys all good with Five Guys? Burgers? No objections to cheeseburgers? All right. So if you guys want to come up and kind of pick and choose what you want to add to it, might get a little complicated. But where's my? There you go. But we're gonna get Five Guys. Nice. This is ready to install. Cool.
1, 2, 3, not a...
All right. Somebody want to go up first to the computer, place an order, and then we'll just make sure we get that because it's already getting a little later in the day. Just figured we'd probably have this soon enough. Oh, it did something. Oh, go back.
Have you ever broke the front glass from the mirror?
Yes, twice. Oh, on this one you can go straight across. Just go straight. Yep, straight over the dots. Because on this one they all leave little holes in the glass. So yeah, just go follow that line straight. Yeah, twice on one was on a Mustang. It was an older Mustang, had aftermarket glass, and one was on a Taurus. And I removed this mirror the same way. So it was it's the easier clip-on Ford style mirror. I literally pulled down on it, and sometimes you can just peel them right off the tab. And I just did that, and it pulled a chunk of glass clean out of it. Bad day. Huh? Oh, what? No. No, we're doing Five Guys. Oh, what? What happened here?
You got two in the car.
Yeah. Can you just DoorDash from like 50 places all at the same time? Okay, so go back to burgers. This is where I found it. Okay. Yep, there we go. Yep. Oh yeah, here you go. Burgers. Yep. So yeah. Looks like it doesn't really come with anything, so like add.
It's just a burger and you have fries.
Oh, okay. Yep. And so like last time, get whatever you want. Cool. Good. So we're gonna prep this too.
I'm about to go get that lemon squeegee.
It's a handy squeegee, isn't it? Oh yeah. We're gonna grab a bounce sheet.
Should I bring my tank or?
Yeah, bring your tank over here. I'm just gonna get this windshield started. It's gonna take a minute for it to dry. We also gotta get a towel tucked back in here too.
How'd you get two hoses on it?
So they sell a separate dip tube setup.
At Sun Distribution?
Yes. So what you'll end up doing is they'll swap out they sell the parts so you can do it at home, or you can, like, if you have time to swing over there. I mean,
Yeah,
they'll
swing over there.
help you out with the whole setup. So this ball lock that you have on it is like just a slightly different size. So you literally just unscrew it and then you screw in a new one. And then they sell a dip tube, and then so you have two dip tubes going all the way down to the bottom of the tank, and you can get a whole nother hose setup. So it's really convenient to leave on one side of like the front of the car or the back of the car, and then just have a setup. So when I'm stationary in one place, that's how I like to run it. When I was mobile, I would only have one hose because dragging that across the shop was annoying enough. So, but yeah, with one hose too, you can leave it really like at the back corner of a car. And it's long enough to really get around all the way to the driver's side and the windshield, and then drag it back around to like the passenger side too. That one's the cone tip, yep. I have a bag of cone tips too, actually. Somewhere. Remind me. Oh, yeah. So if at any point you guys want to try out the cone tips, I've got extra ones that you can all take home with you too. So
What do you think is better? You think the cone tip or
yeah, it's 100% preference. I'm at the point where
I asked you one time, I forgot.
the cone tips are just a little bit more flexible, so you can do a fine mist spray or you can do like a point spray. I usually leave it in the middle, so personally, I'm happy with both of them. But if I was ordering one, I'd probably just end up ordering the cone tip instead, just for that added flexibility. But they're both great. All right, so this needs to dry just a little bit more. You can see these streaks right here. So once those dry, and yeah, somebody else can do a food order. How's it going?
Not amazing.
Uh-oh.
I'm like screwed up.
Yep, just flip it around the other way. Oh yeah, it got a little hacked.
Yeah.
Top edge looks nice though.
When I'm trying to like round the corners
Okay.
with my razor blade,
Yeah.
it like gets like caught sometimes, you know.
Do you ever snap a blade off?
Oh, and I haven't even done that yet.
That's probably why at this point, with so many cuts, it's gonna start to dull out. So just take the snapper and then do that right now.
Okay.
Yep, take that off, and then you'll put one click, like two clicks, like you'll get that line up with the holder. Yep, just like that. Take the snapper, stick it in there like that. Sideways. And then snap it against, like just bend it. There you go. So now when you go to cut it, also leave more blade out, leave it lower to the glass, and that'll probably be another thing that'll help you out, and then it'll be a lot cleaner.
So now like this, like
Yeah. So just literally just try and round this corner and see how that goes, just a little bit. See how that feels now instead.
Do you normally like put your finger like on this side of it, or would you go like that and round like that, like here?
Oh, I'd probably just keep it on this side, yeah, if I was trying to round against my finger or something.
Yeah, that was way better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was.
So when you're rounding a corner, you can start out like this, and you as you start getting into the cut, you start swinging your blade, and cool. All right. So try cutting out that pattern one more time, just with those little adjustments, and then we'll see how it turns out compared to this one, and then we'll go ahead and install whatever you get next.
This one or just
Really just the side cuts on it. The top edge looks great. I mean, this is gonna leave a huge gap there, and then this side one is kind of just tough to deal with. So when you tuck it in, there's gonna be a huge gap here as well. So, but the parts that look really good, the top edge, and when you're making your cut, this is all very clean. This looks clean. This looks very clean. We just need to work on those straight edges, I think, the way that you were cutting all the corners, and then you'll have an awesome pattern. Because this is excellent. So that'll install nice and clean up against the glass. So if you cut out another pattern, I think it'll just fix those issues really quick. So I'd rather just see you cut a new one right now, and then we'll go through and we'll install it.
Okay.
Do it. Okay. Yes. Yep. So we can get some film on it. Everything's all set to go. That roll's basically empty. Let me grab another roll for you. Or this one. What's this one? Oh, this is that carbon one. What's this one? We got rolls everywhere. The Classic 35, there's nothing in there. I think we're pretty much out. We gotta open another roll here. We are. We're gonna open a brand new one. The one hard part about taking one roll out is you gotta slice everything else. There we go. Gotta harvest it. No, that's all good. Cool. On this side. Alrighty. Jack, did you put in a food order? You want to get an order in? You can. It's fine. Everybody else is getting food. Join the crowd, man. Yeah, get whatever you want. Burger, fries, drink. It's all good. It's part of the fun. Okay. There was a super chat. Somebody needs to do like $5 to set off the fog machines, though. Oh, that was you? You gotta do $5. They're not cheap, man.
Landon K super chatted $1.99. Let's go.
What's up?
So on your headset, can you like hear that stuff, or you just hear it from like the computer?
No, it's all on my headset, yeah. I'm kicking myself because I forgot my headset. But honestly, with everything that's going on with the class, it's somewhat of a good thing. But yeah, literally that robot voice that you hear right now, that's what it sounds like all day. Landon with the 2. Let's go. There we go.
Joseph Sitter super chatted $4.99.
Joseph with the 5. Thank you. Okay, no problem.
I can't remember. Did you do drag sheet on the strip or no?
No, not for the windshield strip. That I just do wet. So I'm going to trim the bulk off that side too.
You didn't heat shrink it, did you?
No. So with most strips, there isn't much to shrink. So you could do a little touch up on the inside, but you can shrink it ahead of time if it looks like there's some fingers and stuff there. I would try and shrink them out the top, just out of the corner. Oh, dang. Yep. More than 5. Like 5 and up. So your super chat that you did set them off.
Super chatted $5.53. Well done, class.
Dean with the 8. Well done, class. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Okay, so I would tilt the heat gun up at a 45 and yeah, point it towards the heat, but you're looking for the right things there. It's good. And then the sides, be careful about side. So this, see how this is pulling off of the side?
Yeah.
Always make sure your side is pointed back down. I think there's some dust there though. Here, 1 second. So when it pulls like that, that is now, if you keep shrinking, it's gonna just do all that. It's not gonna be nice for your tint here. So I'm gonna lock this down with a little bit of water. Mostly because it seemed like there was a lot of dust on the window and I was just wiping it off with a towel, but I can still feel some grit under there. So we should have probably just squeegeed the whole thing off.
Oh, yeah.
I live around a construction site right now, so it's kind of it got a dust bath overnight. Yeah, it'll be a little weird to get the hang of, but the main thing is just holding the heat gun towards the film rather than pointed directly at one spot. It's going to help warm up the entire area. So it might feel weird. You can always hold it in the other hand. You just got to hold it a little bit differently so it's not pointed directly at the tint. Good. Keep going with that. I'm gonna wait for you to get this corner done. Nice. See how smooth that's going though? Yep. Yep. That's why we do it. Yeah, I think the biggest things that I noticed was just like making sure the side was trimmed off ahead of time and always make sure those sides are locked down, but you're looking for the exact right thing right now.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Okay, good. Yep, a little bit overheated there. So just let it go a little bit too far. It's not ruined yet, but it is going to start to pull back up. So you can almost see that little spot right here. That's where everything connects to. That's overheated. Let me grab sprayer. So with all the added dust, we're going to clean this off next time. I'm just going to use water, though, to help with this. So what the water is going to do is basically like, it just helps it stick down. That's exactly right. Okay. So that'll hold this enough so you can take care of the rest of it and ignore this part right now. I wouldn't touch that.
I do it like that or no?
Yep, you can absolutely do it like that. It's just going to be a little funny to hold it, but yeah, the goal is to just keep the heat gun pointed at the film, and then you warm up a bigger section all at one time. Good. All right, that's enough, that's enough. All right, this section right here, and then this side is shrunk enough. You can tell because these lines are pulling from here. So what I'm finish up just this little bit right here. All right, that's good. Yep. All right, now jump over to the other side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Okay, good. Yep, there is a heat gun over. That's what I was just checking for. I'm going to do the same thing just in case. So I'm going to kind of lock down this side. So go ahead and shrink all this. And what you're going to notice is this tension from here is then going to drop down with all of this. So I'm not going to try and shrink that right now.
You always use the felt card, or?
No, I used to use a hard card. I switched to a felt card because what would happen is I used to clean off glass. Like you can actually see some grit underneath it. I used to just wipe the glass off with a towel. But what would happen is every once in a while you get like a rock, basically, like just a particle that's much thicker, like, you know, just a big speck of sand or something. Yep, and then you hit it with the hard card, it rips right through the film. It would usually happen when I was in like the final stretch. So I'd be at like the top or bottom corner, last one. I just spent like 10 minutes shrinking my window, and I rip right through the film. As soon as somebody showed me a felt card, it just skips right over everything. So it's just less risk of damaging the film. Creases aren't as bad. You have to press a little bit harder. Sometimes, like, you know, it's nice to have that extra oomph behind your push, but felt cards are just a lot more forgiving.
Do you have to replace it, or?
Honestly, no. They get better with time. They get gross looking.
They break in.
Yeah, exactly. Those edges. I've got some in the toolbox, I think. Okay, so yep. Yep, the ends will start to get pressed in over time. I've got a handful of them dating back at least like 3, 4, 5 years. Chat would always annoy me because they would say that looks really gross. Get a new card. And I'd tell them, shut up. So you can shrink up here too. So that's what I mean. Like you'll bring this down with it. And then go a little farther over. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but all this too. And now rather than that pulling and try and sweeping it in this way, it all starts to come down with the rest of the window. So your window bows, like starts lower, bows up, and then comes back down. So all this is telling you is it's just trying to pull material up from here. So as soon as you shrink this, it all starts to relax and come down with it. So now all you have left is this little bit right here. Nice. Heck yeah. All right. Now top corners. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wet those too. Maybe. I don't know. Let me look.
No, that's not like below.
It looks like the air bubbles, yeah. I think I just have to hit it with the felt card.
All right. Go ahead. One thing I learned from the class is always use your heat gun in your dominant hand. Oh, that's a good note. Well, if that was somebody in chat says they like using the heat gun in their dominant hand. I got used to switching things up just so it was more comfortable for me to hold. But things do get really awkward when you start reversing your hand motions.
I don't want to mess up with the felt card. Like I can.
No, you just got to shrink this more. This is looking good. Nice. Yep. And then just push up to where, exactly. See? You know what you're looking for. Just tighten that up a little bit more. Yep. Good, good. Yep, that's enough. Perfect.
So I didn't the middle. I didn't.
Yep. Yep, that's fine. You can go catch it over on the other side. Bring it all up together. This is looking good. Oh yeah. Switch over there. Go to the other side. Okay. We're gonna finish this. Then I'm gonna put in a food order. I mean, I already did,
I
right?
think the hardest thing is going to be remembering.
Oh, honestly, you can start in that corner, or the lower bit. Same thing. Also, make sure, remember, this has to be down.
I think
Yeah,
the
we're
first
gonna.
thing would be remembering the techniques.
Yeah. It's definitely important to remember. All those little steps. Well, you can. I don't know where my card went. So there we go. See, all that's all set, ready to be shrunk. Yep. Shrink it a little bit more, a little bit more. This area just a little bit. Okay. There you go. Yep, right like that. Now right up here. It's just learning the little differences, like, okay, how much heat is too much? Make sure your sides are tacked down always. So that's good. And really, once you just stick to those little principles, it then makes the entire thing way more comprehensive and easier.
100%. That's what I was having like trouble with in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and you were having problems with this yesterday too. I mean,
I did it only one time without making a crease, or remember?
yeah, yep. And then it just seemed like after lunch, took a break, came back to it, and you just like, yeah, it was the pizza. You should get that pizza again. This is awesome, man. Much better. Yep. And I'll leave this this live stream up on the channel too. So, yep. Yep. So whenever, like with this particular situation, always refer back to it for those little reminders and stuff if you feel hung up.
So see whatever I need to do. I'll go back to this video, see what I did.
Yeah, man. All right. So let me see the heat gun real quick. I just want to try and fix this part. So it was just overheated a little bit. To me, that's more of a fluke than a, so like I want to see if we can just set this up to install. So I'm just going to try and fix it really quick. But all it was just overheated a little bit in that corner. Yeah, but it didn't happen there, it didn't happen there, and it didn't happen there. So it's just, you're learning from those little mistakes and then moving forward. So good. Sweet. Yep, now just trim it all out. And yeah, we can set this up for an install. Cool.
Blade out when you cut on the glass.
Yep, yep. So leave it about that far out.
Okay.
Yep, just a good amount of blade. It gives you a nice low angle. And then also make sure, like if you were just recently cutting with that, always make sure you snapped an end and it's nice and sharp. Canon. All right. We gotta order some burgers here really quick. How much is it? $130 on food. We do it up good here though. Delivery. Hand it to me. Save. Sweet. Place order. How much is that? It's went from $130 to like $200 in like fees and stuff. Jesus Christ. Yep, for 5 guys. It was the delivery stuff. As soon as you do delivery on top of it, like there's the delivery charge, there's magical fees, and then the tip on top of it. And then it was just like, what the fuck? That's fine.
I usually don't get from DoorDash.
No, I don't. I don't do it a lot. It's just we're kind of in a pinch with the cars that we needed for the class and stuff. So it makes sense. All right. This one go okay?
I like a little. This corner's kind of jank.
Okay. Oh, and it got. Oh no. So when you rolled this down,
Oh no.
you didn't pick it back up, and then it rolled back in there. So does this happen when you go to? So you cut your top edge,
Yeah.
and then your sides look pretty good, but from here to here, is this just rounding the corners?
Just a bit. Maybe, or like it might be happening during the when I cut the top edge, because like when I cut the top edge,
Uh-huh.
I like. There's there's the cut here, but then there's still like that much of film that.
Okay. Do it. All right. Do it one more time. Cut out a pattern for me one more time.
Okay.
And then when we get to the top edge, let me know, and then I'll help you with because this is nice and straight. This looks great. And then it's just when it comes time to cutting those corners, I'll help you out with that.
Okay.
Because that looks like your only hang up with cutting a pattern. Everything else looks really good.
Okay.
All right. One more time.
All right.
Bulldozer. Oh, and clear up some space. So you can move these seats forward.
Sorry.
Oh, and if any obstructions, just take them out or move them around. So I always, tinting a back window, move the front seats forward, and then it'll at least free up some space. So we gotta hunt down. All right, this is somebody's bulldozer here. And then, do you guys got a side swipe over there? Sweet. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So, for the bottom, so the rest of it's easy to get to. For the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'll typically take like a side swipe.
Oh, yep.
And then I can reach up to here and a little bit behind the third brake light, sometimes not all the way. And then you can also take a bulldozer, and it doesn't have to be perfectly clean as far as your sweep goes.
Now, what if there's adhesive
And then
behind it?
adhesive is a whole nother ball game. There's a scrub paddle that you can put some scrubby
Oh,
pads onto.
I've seen one of these with a script head.
Exactly. That's what you'll end up using.
Okay.
So it'll be a little bit slimmer. And you spray some adhesive remover and then try and scrub it all out. It's not super fun, but that's usually the best tool for the job. But yeah, a couple like swipes behind your brake light and then spray the whole thing again, squeegee it down, and then just give it a good flush at the bottom. And then you should be good to go. Extreme Tint Makeover. Malibu Edition. Limo, all the things. We're gonna have to tuck a towel in here too.
So the cut was like really bad.
Uh-oh.
It was like side to side, side to side.
We shouldn't be side to side.
No, I'm saying like what's it was like straight enough.
Yeah?
It's like, you know, it's like while I'm cutting it straight, it's like going to the side, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Here, like, you can tell, like,
Yeah, no, it's actually not bad. So part of it is your line. The glass-eyed line's a little wobbly too.
yeah.
But no, this is actually okay. A little bit here.
Yeah.
It'll just come with practice. It's hard to dance on that line a little bit, but you're always inside of the glass-eyed line. So that's kind of a good gauge to know that you're not too slim and it's not too wide, especially on a window like this. You'll be good.
I was just trying to, like,
So
cut, yeah.
you'll notice around corners and stuff like that, it's going to get a little bit more challenging to cut out. All this is looking really, it's actually looking fine. So don't worry about it not being perfectly straight. It's all getting tucked into the edges, so you're doing fine.
This is not invisible, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. This is all getting tucked behind the dots. It's not like a top edge. So, yep. Oh, it's way farther along than I thought. Nice. Yeah, looks good.
So something like this looks good, it's like good, right?
Yep, that's totally fine. This content is fire. Thank you. Yeah, this one's definitely fun to do. Seems like as soon as we put everybody on one car with a goal by the end of the day, it was like we've done enough learning up to this point where now it's like kind of a real world situation. So it seemed like a good time to kind of fire up the camera and go from here. And then there's lots of there's the right amount of all these little situations and stuff.
Hardest thing, man.
Oh, I know it.
The windows, I can do the windows easily. Because it's a sharper edge.
Mm-hmm. But that back glass, man,
So what do? Just grind your teeth against it?
kinda, yeah, I literally just shift it a little bit and almost push it with my tongue at the same time. Oh, it's way far. Okay. So we've cut a side edge. So what I'm gonna do, do one thing. Cut it one more time. While it's here. Okay, so go ahead and so from up here, you can pull this back a little bit, push it right up to there, and then cut from there down.
So you don't go all the way to the corner?
No.
Like how far down from the very corner?
So usually I'll be about a ½ inch to an inch down from the corner, just because if I try and press the film up into it, it crunches it a lot. Yeah. So start a little farther down, and you can go straight down. The other way to do it is from the bottom up, where it's not crunching into the corner. It might feel really awkward putting your arm up this way. It's a little more natural to go straight down. So.
Okay. So I think I haven't been starting the kind of.
Oh, okay. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and then I'll also help you with when we gets time for the top edge. We'll do a couple little changes. Whew. And that's when he lost an eye at the class, and he became one-eyed Matt. Yep. So we don't have to go over super far, but we're gonna pull it over probably about that far. It'll give us a nice overlap on both sides. So do the same thing with that. And then you can also tack it down again, just to ensure that cut's not gonna move on you. Oh boy, the fun part.
Can you do that with that?
Can you what?
Is it gonna be okay to do with just that side door open?
We might have to open it a little bit for him. It'll probably give him some more space because it'll maybe push his arm through. Nice. You got that far. Now no pressure. Oh no! It fell. There you go. Good recovery. Nice. And then the most important thing is just to pick up that edge, that bottom edge there. That's what's going to slide behind that brake light. And then if you get that all flat against the window, the rest of it should go pretty easy. So all right. So why didn't like almost pull it sideways and it'll help flatten it all out against the glass? There you go, just like that. And then you can roll some film up on the glass and it's not gonna it's gonna be a little bit more controlled. There you go. And then push this side down. Remember, widen it out just a little at the bottom and then it'll help control everything as you're pushing it down. Okay, you went far enough on this side, it doesn't give you a lot of room to tuck it. So pull this side back up just a little bit, and then this side needs to go a little bit lower. Nice. That's spot on. Heck yeah. Cool. So you've been tinting for 6 months, right?
2 days. This is my third.
There you go. Heck yeah. Yep. The third brake light on this one gives you at least enough space to work with. A lot of them do, where they'll give you like that much room in between the glass so you can sneak a bulldozer in between there. It's just if you get any speckles or hairs and stuff, there's no saving it. Yeah, that's the most annoying thing about them. This car also has a foam strip, like really right at the bottom of the glass that starts to warp over time. So I pressed it down ahead of time, but if he pushes the glass, like on the Altamont, you have a lot of space past that line. On this one, there's just a foam strip right there, so you can't even go very far down on this back window, but you got lots of room on the sides and the top. All right. All right. So we practicing or what? Cool. He's doing that rear windshield really well. Amazing for only 2 days. I know. It's going well. I really there's always that like when so at the very beginning of the class I always ask people like how long they've been tinting for before coming here, and if you've never touched film before, there's a lot to go over for sure. So it's nice to see that that even with not having touched film before, if you pay attention and watch a bunch of videos and stuff, at least you're way farther ahead just with doing that. But I still always suggest get some tools, get some film, get some practice in, because you never know quite how you're going to take to it. I need a push stick. Things are so scattered right now. There we go. So I'm gonna get this towel tucked in. So I'll show you how to tuck this towel in here. If you wanna hop over to the other side. So this is going to be really important for obviously keeping the electronics as safe as possible. So these towels are really, really high quality towels, and they have this little stitching at the end. So you can take a push stick and you kind of slide it into the center.
Push stick?
Yeah, like one of these things. So this is basically a panel stick.
Where should I get it from, this one?
I actually have... That's a good question. I'll get back to you on that one. I might have some extra ones laying around here. Okay, so you can take it and you basically fold it up, and then just press the stick right against like where the stitching is.
Like in the seal?
Yeah, you kind of curl it, and then that gives you a good area to kind of, you grab it with the end of the stick, and you shove it in there. So you just want to try and keep everything as flat as possible, because when the towel's all bunched up at the bottom, it's gonna
mess you up.
prevent the tint from rolling in. So going over to the other side, we're gonna do the exact same thing, and then depending on the window, we're gonna put a soak shield on it. So again, we're gonna kind of have this up here. This is gonna tuck into the bottom.
So for the back windshield, it's like pretty much like other than like reverse roll, and you just hold it, you just like Frankenstein it in, and start it with the top and push it. I was gonna ask you about that.
Can you say that one more time?
Like to install the back windshield, you pretty
Yes.
much just like bring it in, try to put it in the bottom as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the bottom, like try to like put on as much, and then move it around.
Yes. Yep. And it's more about getting the bottom against the window, and you can kind of stretch it out and flatten it up, roll a little film up, and then just keep pulling it from the bottom. Anytime, and you'll see this with door windows and stuff, anytime your film bunches up or there's a roll in it, it doesn't have as much strength for you to push it. It just starts to roll and crunch together. So the more film that you can leave flat against the window, it gives it a little bit more structure.
So it doesn't like roll up or crease or anything.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
So I do the towel first, and then I go through with the rope, the soak shield, and I press that in on top of it, and it helps protect the windshield as much as it also keeps the towel tucked a little farther down and out of my way.
So you have to make sure that one is like tucked in real good, so it doesn't like mess with the windshield.
Yep.
When you're trying to put it in.
Yep. And if this was a really tight front windshield, I would only do the towel. I wouldn't do both. So the soak shield, the main thing is to cover a lot of surface area, and this towel will suck up a lot of water. So, but you can see how much lower the towel is here, because it had that little bit of extra space in it, and it's pressing everything down. So, and I'm gonna go back through, start in the middle, and just
Push it in.
Yep, it's a little tedious to do, but if it saves the car from being ruined, it's well worth it. Real tedious. All right, get this over. Sweet. Okay, so that's all good. Now what we're gonna do is, yeah, I wanna pull the glass aid first.
It's kind of weird because the glass aid started coming off at the end.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if I like overcut it or undercut it, because it was like messing around.
If it started falling off of the ends, it really was in the initial prep there.
Right here.
Yeah. It's really in the initial prep. So you already had some of the glass aid applied to the window before the window was even wiped off or anything. So this next go around, what we're gonna do is we're going to use a scrub pad, we're going to use a squeegee everything off the window, then we'll apply the glass aid and dryer sheet, and you're not going to have that issue.
But it's so far, the windshield just like it's deep. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
you can apply this or no? You can't apply this.
Let me, so any of these, after I pull the glass aid, we're going to go check all the edges just to make sure. So it's very normal after you cut the film to have to shrink the edges a little bit further.
But this is like you can apply it. Like this is something that you can. It's not messed up right now.
No, not at all. It's not because it's messed up. It's because you basically cut away film that was all part of your shrink connected together, and you just cut part of that shrink out of it. So just to make sure the edges are going to lock down, I'm just going to go through a heat gun and double check them. And then remember that over shrunk little spot here that I'm seeing if I can fix up a little bit. There we go. But if you go back to any of my videos, I always do this. I pull the glass aid off, I take a heat gun, I go around the entire window, double check all my edges. That way, you can be sure if there's a finger that's going to pop up, it's going to be very small, and you'll be able to touch it up. So, yep, you got your spray tank. Undo. Did he super chat? Oh. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, thanks, Dean. I remember he super chatted earlier, too. All right, so need to go clean the inside of the glass. So you definitely, it'll be smart to basically unwind all the hose at this point. And we're gonna set this tank right here, and that way you can drag it around. This one, it's just got some older water in it, so we're just gonna use yours for this. What's a Malibu? Malibu's that car over there. What percent of tint on the windshield? Right now we're just playing around with 35. This is GeoShield's Pro Classic that we're using. Ooh, it's in there. It's squeegeed out. How we do?
So there's like a top piece up here. It's
Okay.
Like, there's like a plastic piece right here, and I think it's gonna cause a bubble.
Oh, the button that's on the glass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll trim around that. That's fine. There is a little extra water here. This is nitpicking, but this could be pressed out a little bit more. So going around it, that's what you'll see. This though looks great. As far as just general, like how clean is it? And a little air pocket there.
There's like a little pocket right
This is good work. Oh, I can see it. Yep. These little guys right here. Yeah. So I'd take bulldozer or side swipe, whatever reaches down there. Oh, you know what you can use too? The little green buddy, the big green buddy. Wherever. Oh, there it is. This one. Swipe the bottom with this because it's a little tighter down there. This will basically give you a good shot here. Oh, and it looks like there's a little zipper here. Yep. See how that'll fit into the corner nicely? Good. Nice. So, yeah, swipe from this way and then go that way. From the brake light inside. Yep, right like that. Little bit more pressure right here. So you can kind of like hold it at an angle. There you go, like that. A little bit more pressure on the glass. Oh, you're holding it upside down. Other way. There you go. Now it'll work a lot better for you. Oh yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Yep, oh yeah. Night and day difference there. Okay, that all looks good. So this was probably from handling the film. Yeah, what's up?
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
on that.
So that's something that they used to do. It's literally a little button clip.
That's what I was thinking.
So the only thing you want to be careful of is it's probably for an antenna. But yeah, like just, it looks exactly like it. Oh, I'd just leave it. I'd leave it as is, honestly, right now. But yeah, ahead of time, if you cut it a little bit slimmer, that's one of those things that you learn is there just with time. They don't do that on a lot of windows, though. It's kind of an older style thing. But yeah, that's fine. Yep, little air pocket there. This is nice, though. So
Now, what
I'll
about,
show
like-
you on the outside, but this was a little zipper, probably from the way it was handled. It's
Because I did touch
and the way you kind of picked it up off the glass, it was kind of bent down, and then you kind of like snuck your hand underneath it and like pulled it back up. That's probably when that happened.
and like, what about these? You said these would dry out in like a week.
That'll dry out. Yeah, honestly, inside of a week, more often than not. So it's just like as you're squeegeeing it out, if you press a little bit harder initially, you'll go right over those defroster line parts. When they start to get locked in, it gets a little bit more challenging to get them out. But yeah, they're usually just little water pockets that that blister up and then go away. So as for that, I would push it out to the left actually. Again, yeah, with the defroster line. And it's up in that corner. So here, if you want to hop out for a sec, it's starting to just dry out. Depends on how early you catch it. Usually it has to do with shrinking, but sometimes they'll just happen. But it's nice that that one happened up top. So squeegee all of that out and then put a good amount of pressure on it. And so hopefully it stays down. If it comes back, I'm gonna put a little heat there. And then, yeah, it's starting to come back. Yep, but I'm gonna do it with heat though. So if you wanna grab me a heat gun real quick. Oh shit, that outlet's not working. How's it? Oh, yeah, I got a jumper for you too. Oh, really? Fun. I think that whole wall is dead. Go ahead and move it over there for me. Yeah, move it over to that wall. I don't know what popped, but something popped. I just got to figure it out. I think it was... Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the gun. We might have a dead gun, actually. That would be really helpful. Because if it's the gun, then that's really easy to diagnose. Oh, wait, yeah, let me take it off of this one. I just want to see. Oh, it's on that outlet now. Now it's pointless. Hang on. I guess we'll just leave it here. I'll move that outlet or that gun over to the outlet and I'll check it. I'll check it a little later. Okay, so here, what I'm gonna do is plants. So for this spot, if I ever have, like, these aren't super fun to touch up, especially when they happen lower on the window, but I'm going to heat it up on the outside, and I just need the squeegee to kind of be a little damp. So I'm going to warm it up. My hand's on the inside right now, kind of feeling that spot. And then I'm going to push it straight out. And then hopefully that heat is enough to seal it down. Sometimes you have to do that a handful of times before it'll completely lock in place, but that's how you're going to do it. And try and always go with the defroster lines. But yeah, that'll touch up. Same thing with this guy. And when they're up high like that, you can jump on the inside, just lightly put a little heat, blow some air, and it'll warm up that glue. And it'll get it stuck down.
What about this little guy? Is that a dry?
Oh, what is that little guy? Oh, I think that's glue. That looks like something that's on the glass. Am I crazy? Yeah, there's a little something. Little residue behind. That's probably from the tint that was there previously, honestly. Like, it's just a little bit. And then that little thing can get pressed out. This is really good. Especially for day number 2. Or day number 3. What's up? Oh, yeah. Yeah, give it a little juice. And then it should stay fine. Yeah.
I had that one nice. It was just that short on the bottom.
Oh, did it slide or something?
No, I think I just cut it wrong.
Oh, okay.
But I forgot to raise it up.
Oh, so you cut the whole thing while it was rolled down, and I've done that a time or 2, or 3 or 4 or 5. Dang. We got one window left on the Malibu. And then it'll all be tinted. Look at that. Yep, just this one. So Jack's going to finish up this one. And then we'll be good on this car. Heck yeah, look at that. You guys finished reasonably quick.
What, 4 hours?
Yeah, about.
4 people.
Not bad for 4 people. All right, so we're going to go through cutting this top edge. So just worry about the top edge, cut that out, and then I'll show you how to do the sides, because the pattern is looking really good.
When I cut the top edge, like, doesn't matter like where I start at, or I want to start like all the way.
Yeah, just start farther over to the left side, just whatever is reasonable to get to. Whichever way is more comfortable to cut it.
Make the blade close to the window. He helped me out with that. Close.
Nice. Good. That went nice and smooth. Perfect. Good. Okay. So when we're cutting our corners, the way that I'm going to do them is I'm going to follow the straight lines. So you can take a tool as a guide, a ruler. Just tool's nice because it's already in your belt. So then I'm just going to try and draw this up straight. So you can do something like that. You can always clean it up a little bit, but it's all getting tucked into the side. So if your knife starts out a little farther and works in, you know, all that's going to kind of get buried. So it's not a big mistake. And then same thing for up here. We're just going to try and slim this up as clean as we can with that top edge. So we're going to take a tool. We're going to go there. And now my corner, all it's going to be is this little guy right here. So I'm not trying to cut, I don't need to cut all the way from here and guesswork all the way down there. So it'll make it really, really straightforward. So go ahead and do that with this side. Just use a card, and you're going to cut the straight edge first, and then you're going to do this little bit here.
Okay, can I eyeball it?
Sure.
Okay.
As long as it turns out good.
You guys don't want to eyeball it? I don't know. This is a lot of pressure right now.
I mean, come on, you just got a YouTube channel watching you too.
Every time I pull up YouTube, it's the first one.
Good.
Yeah, that is true. If you're live, it's
I
you're,
think
you're
it's
the
'cause I watch it
first
every
one.
day.
Even for me.
That looks great. You know, one of my last Walmart video, it actually kind of blew up finally. It's gotten almost 300,000 views, which is it out of nowhere. It all of a sudden finally caught on.
That's YouTube, huh?
Yep. You can let something sit, and then next thing you know, it'll pick up. That's awesome. This is infinitely better than the other one. That's what you want it to look like. So that's perfect. So round these little ones here, and just little rounds on both corners, and then you're ready to install it. Yep, it was just those corners. Just draw some straight lines, and then connect them together, and then just round the little end. Makes it really easy. Cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna install that one.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going, doing what you're doing. You're doing good. Try and get that one installed.
Should I take off the belt?
Yeah, you can. It'll make it a little bit easier. Don't you insert the glass wicks? Like the, what do you mean? Was that the soak shield? That's what happens when you have a great instructor. Thank you. I appreciate that. So one of the last things I think we're gonna do is reverse roll a windshield here. So there's some extra things. Obviously, we're gonna be working till 4 today, playing around with stuff. But the good news is that car is basically done. And then the rest of it is going to be just kind of individual practice, and also I think we're going to try and get that F-150 windshield done too. Yep. Sprayer. So the inside of the glass from yesterday is already pretty clean. So at this point, we're going to jump in there and squeegee it off, like spray it. Oh, you already did that? It's all ready to go? Okay, cool. So let's start with the outside then.
You want to check the inside real quick? Make sure it's all clean?
We'll spray it right before we go to install it. I'm gonna have to trust you that it's all good. As long as you just squeegee top to bottom, it's already been cleaned a bunch, so it should be okay. All right, so come on over to this side. So I'll show you on this side, and then I'll have you replicate it over on the other side. So for setting up a reverse roll, I'll do a couple things. First, now I like to spray under the glass a little bit, and then I'll spray back on top of it too. So while you're working on it, there can be lots of dust that falls onto it and just, anything and everything. So what I'll do here is I'll take this big green squeegee, and then I'll squeegee all that water back off. And what I'm doing with that is kind of getting rid of all the dust that was sitting on top of it. And it's doing a little bit extra to clean underneath of it too. It's not perfect underneath, but it is a little bit better. Can you toss me that rag too? Sometimes I'll take a rag too, and I'll kind of wipe just the edges, kind of get rid of the extra drips and stuff. And then you peel one corner, and then you're gonna pull it like from corner and just drop it. So basically you peel like a quarter of it, and you can spray it, and then you're gonna pick up the other quarter here and just lift it straight up, and it picks up the entire liner together, so you can spray basically half the window here. And then you're gonna just gently lay it back down, grab that other corner, and you just kind of let it all fall back down. So I pulled the liner nice and clean, wet it all down, and now I'm gonna, yep, top and then bottom. So lift the entire piece of film some, spray underneath it, and then spray on top of it. So it's easier to stand actually up here. We'll switch spots. So grab that top corner. So you're gonna just pick up the whole piece together and then just kind of lift it there and then spray it some. Okay, good. Lay it back down and then spray a little bit on top of it. There you go. Now you're gonna squeegee just from top to bottom and just get basically all that dust off of it. Okay, good. Yep, that'll work. Okay. Ooh, we got some food. Sweet. All right, 1 second. Let me take this off. All right. I don't know why. Okay, now peel the liner, top corner. Canon. What are you using for slip solution these days? Still baby shampoo and Dawn, although we might have to change the Dawn part of that because it's something that I heard, which is kind of annoying. But hey, sometimes we got to make sacrifices. Oh yeah, I figured it'd take a minute. Yeah, so with the Dawn and baby shampoo, we have these nifty little measuring cups too, but they're all inside everybody's kegs right now. So we use just about 3 ounces worth of baby shampoo and about 1 ounce of Dawn. A little less baby shampoo with about 1 ounce of Dawn. That's in the 3-gallon kegs though. So, yeah, that's fine. And you can lay that down. And then you pick it up from there, and then that just lets everything pick up nice and smoothly. So pick it up high. Yeah, that's fine. And then keep going until you basically meet the other section. Yep, a little bit higher. There you go. Now spray that.
What are you doing, reverse roll?
Yep. There you go. And then we'll try and... it's getting away from us. All right, start putting that down. We're going to pick this up. Yep. It's okay if it's not perfect, like an air bubble in there. It's okay. I just try and do it as smooth as I can. So now we're gonna roll it up. So you're gonna pick it up from here, and then you're just gonna start rolling it up all together. Yes. So start here. Hang on, let go of that. Start from here. Let go of that. Let go. So kind of like this.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll all kind of roll up together.
So don't roll the whole side, just like one little corner.
Yeah, really, you can start in the corner. God, I need another sprayer here. There's just little things. It's nice to have the film a little bit wetter on the outside. All right, go for it. But yeah, the nice thing about leaving the film wet is you can also kind of twist it back and forth a little bit. So if you feel like it's going up really high or really low, you can kind of manipulate it a little bit. I would twist it a little bit. You're starting to bow back down. Yeah. So see this? Look, I can kind of adjust it. and just try and keep it going straight against the glass.
So what do you get like on top of the car and do it like that?
Yep, I'll stand on that sill. Yep, and then you can reach over. And then once you get about halfway to like 3/4 of the way, then I'll pick it up and I'll just roll the rest of it up. Here you go. Yep, go ahead and pick it up. And then just keep rolling it up.
Let's see this next part.
All right. Roll it up. Yep, keep going. Just roll it all the way up. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, now when you get to this part, here you can let go. So sometimes the liner kind of shifts a little bit away from the tint, but basically now that it's all rolled up, you're going to then peel.
The liner?
Yeah, you leave the liner stuck to the tint, and then you peel the tint back, and then you start unrolling it in the opposite direction. So here you go. You start unrolling it a little bit. Yep. And so now the liner's on the back side of the film, and that's all just exposed film right there. So from here, we're gonna flip this, we're gonna unroll it some. We're gonna kind of flip this around. We're basically gonna carry it in like that and go over to the other side. Now, there's also one choice that you can, like, for me at this point, I choose to usually start on the passenger side and go over to, and reach over to the driver's side. I think most people that's a little bit awkward, so I'll have you go on the driver's side, and then I'll meet you, I'll just meet you in there. Yep, and I'll pass it off to you. Tends to be a little bit easier to get started that way. If I hand this to you, here.
Let me spray it real quick, right?
Oh, yep, here. Yep, there's a sprayer if you want to spray the glass. Ah!
I'm sorry.
You're right, there you go. Just... Yep, and get that corner over there. There you go. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. It's your pattern, not mine. So with your right hand, grab the tube. A little bit lower. Grab the tube a little bit lower, and then there you go. Now you're going to try and basically tuck it down on the glass. And then you unroll it with like your right hand. So get all the film stuck up kind of on the glass. Yeah, this is where you'll spend some time getting comfortable with like how much everything can shift really quickly on you. The biggest thing I found is to get your left side all tucked up on the window so it doesn't fall down. And then just hold your roll. Watch this. So this bit, I'll get that tucked up on the glass, and then I'll kind of smooth out
liner?
this chunk.
The liner's still on it.
Yeah, it should be, but it's on the back side.
Oh.
So we're unrolling it. So see, this is a real comfortable position here.
So
There you go. Yep, and now you can slowly start to unroll it onto the window. Just start unrolling more film. There you go. And then this stuff here, keep your hand a little bit lower, push this up onto the glass, and then just keep going across. And so, there you go. And so this is where I like to start on the passenger side versus the driver's side, but you can see the setup is difficult too. So at this part,
since there's that whole
yeah, we're gonna cut out that.
Oh.
Usually I cut it out ahead of time. I'll talk about it when it comes time for it. So this is all really good. So at this point, I'm gonna hold this, run over to this side of the car. We're gonna switch sides. Razor blades. Okay, so I'm gonna get up here. So just go ahead and grab that tube. Okay, now hang tight. I'm gonna run over to the other side of the car. We're just gonna swap. Okay, So we'll cut this out at the end. We don't have to cut it out yet. So keep unrolling some of this film. Good, good, good. All right, now about this part, this is where I do one little change up. So the liner's over here. So I peel this liner off. And then I swing it over to, please don't. There we go. Okay, I swing it over to this side. Now I let this drop back, and I pull the liner. See that? And it's pulling the liner free and clear. See that corner there? Look, all the liner now comes out, and now you can spray the film a little bit and tuck that up onto the glass, and that liner's not going to get in your way. Yep. So start with that corner and just try and sneak that corner in there. Yep. Reach your hand into there. Try and sneak that corner there, and everything should start to smooth out. Easy peasy. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, so for mirror cutouts, I would usually cut this out beforehand. I just didn't feel like finding a light and doing it, so I'll show you how I do them on the inside. So you have a lot of space on here, so your cut doesn't have to be perfect. Pro tip here, though, if you need to cut out just the tab only and you don't have a good border, put out just a little bit of blade here and just poke the film, and you're just going to try and ride it all the way around and then go back in the other direction. Down, and then you're going to cut out this little bit down here, and then it should basically fall off there. And then you kind of stretch it out, and then there you go. You've got your mirror cut out. So it's not a big deal when you have such a big area to cut out, so I could start and go much farther around, but if I'm doing a tight one, that's how I'm going to do it. So from here, spray the glass, and we're going to focus more on this area first. Just kind of squeegee around the tab a little bit. So we're still starting kind of in the center, but we just want to make sure that tab also gets squeegeed out nice too.
Like that?
Yeah, basically. Yep. Good. And now you can kind of sweep from the center out all the way around. Yeah. So if I'm up top, I'm going to push all this kind of upwards. I'm going to push all that sideways and that stuff down and just kind of keep going around in a circle.
Gotcha.
Yep. Doing good. How much Dawn do you use compared to baby shampoo? So I use about an ounce right now. We're running out of soaps here. So this is the baby shampoo. You can use either the gold one or the purple. Doesn't really matter. It's really just a scent difference. And look, it says calming, so I try and stay a little calm. So I'm going to use about 3 ounces, a little less than 3 ounces typically, and then about an ounce of Dawn. So it's kind of like a, 3 parts baby shampoo, 1 part Dawn. What brand baby shampoo? Dawn, what did you hear about Dawn? Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec. So brand for baby shampoo is Johnson & Johnson. It's the most concentrated. It works really well. What did you hear about Dawn? Okay, so a couple people asking. So with some of the newer GeoShield films, they're using an acrylic adhesive. So it's supposed to be the same adhesive as is on the C2, but what we're seeing on some of the light shades with the Windshield is it's not tacking very well. And so they think that the common denominator is Dawn. So they're recommending people use Fusion All-Type, which is this stuff, instead. This is an actual window tint slip solution. There's this one, and then there's Tint Slime. So I haven't tried this yet, so I always take their feedback. I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. But that would be with like the Carbon Plus and the Apex. I don't have that problem with the C2, so largely I don't see a reason to change my slip because I don't have any problems with it. That's what I use. So with this one, I mean, I'll definitely give it a fair shot. I've used it before. For me, I don't feel like it slips enough. And, you know, if people are having tacking issues, too much soap, I understand. I just, you know, just even seeing other people try and install Pro Classic, Pro Nano, it's got a grabby adhesive. I've had a stain a door panel really bad. With the soaps, like, really, Dawn? So if you ever see streaks on it, I'll just re-wet a towel with the same slip solution, wipe it over it, and it should take care of all the streaks. I haven't had Dawn stain it, though. I also cover up door panels a lot now, too. But yeah, they put out a little Facebook post in a handful of groups. They're trying to let everybody know right now. Again, I have my own opinions of it, but yeah, I was having tacking issues with it. So if that fixes it, and like they've said, is primarily windshields, like pretty much only windshields. So if I have to substitute out something when I do a windshield, I have no problems with that. I just, with the 3 that I use now, I don't have to change anything. It's just with Carbon Plus and Apex. So I always like there to be consistency across the entire lineup. So it's just a weird problem that we've run into with that. The detergent in Dawn will mess up the adhesive. I have heard stuff like that. I've just never had that problem, though. So, you know, I'm not really scientific about that, though. All the jobs I do are very good, but I'm always open to fixing things. Nice. Look at that. Doing windshields now. They grow up so fast. Looking good. I used Dawn on XPEL and Lumar for years and I've never had a problem. Yeah, so Dawn is like some tinter's preferred slip solution. And like you said, they've literally been using it for years on many other films and only Dawn. So it was basically like people would choose between one or the other. They would pick Dawn or they would pick baby shampoo. And then later on, I mashed both together off of Jay's recommendation, and just a squirt of Dawn in there helped out a bunch. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe substituting Dawn with a different dish soap that they'll recommend instead. Or maybe I can put a squirt of all-type in there along with the baby shampoo. Like, this is where you get back into experimenting and some stuff. But I'll definitely try just this. To me, when I first used Fusion all-type, it was not quite as slick as baby shampoo, but a little bit more slick than Dawn. And to me, I like the film to be a little bit more slidey than not. Dawn has way better slip than baby shampoo as well in my experience. Baby shampoo clumps up really bad when it gets hot as well. I've had the opposite experience here. I can appreciate Dawn. It probably comes down to the films that you use. When I was using just baby shampoo with a lot of the films, everything was pretty good. And then Dawn, it would stick a little bit more. But again, the films that I use now, if I just use baby shampoo or I just use Dawn, they stick outright. It doesn't matter if I add more or not. It's looking good. So this little bit, that was again from that overshrunk spot. We're gonna heat that little corner up and get it to press down. So don't pay attention to that corner as much. Everything else, you can see how neatly everything locked down. From here, we're gonna just wipe down the glass, and then we'll see how it turned out. And then we got food sitting up front too. You know, I think all this dust, I saw quite a few speckles over there. I think all this dust, like, you remember how much dust there was on the glass when we first were cleaning and stuff. I think literally scrubbing it off, squeegeeing it beforehand before we got started probably would have made a difference over in that corner. But wipe off the outside of the window and we'll check it over really quick.
Just micro or with alcohol?
Yeah, wherever I put it. Yep, there it is.
Have you ever tried the green bottle of clear?
Tried the clear bottle of green palm olive soap. No, I haven't. I think I have. I bought palm olive, but not the green. Baby shampoo is ridiculously expensive. I stopped using it years ago. Yeah, it's only gotten worse. I always keep an eye out for any discounts on it. So whenever we're grocery shopping or something, I always we always got to buy a bunch of baby stuff for the kid anyways. So I'm always checking to see if there's like any sales on it, and then I'll buy a bunch of bottles at a time. But yeah, it is. I was using dollar store baby shampoo for a little bit, and it's way better than I thought it would be. So this stuff here, the Sesame Street one, I've just noticed it doesn't seem quite as concentrated, but it's a great substitute. Works really, really well, just not quite as good. Kroger, I think so. I think it was like a similar thing. I think it's really good. I just was cutting out all the variables when I switched to GeoShield because I almost didn't use it initially because of how sticky it was. I got real frustrated with it because I'm used to just spraying the glass, and then you can put some extra baby soap and then get it to slide around, and you're usually fine.
I don't know, because I went to Kroger the other day and I couldn't find no what's it called? No baby shampoo at all.
Yeah.
Johnson's and Johnson.
Yeah, sometimes it gets sold out. So as a substitute, if you need to get something, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
How would I be able to fix this?
So this is why I think that squeegeeing it off before we even got started would have made a difference, because I think this is all just little speckly sand
The liner.
from the liner, and you can see just how much dust there is on this car right now. Yeah, where I have to park right now, they take a street sweeper through it right now because they're building a bunch of houses and stuff. It just covers everything in dust right now. So I was just wiping off a ton of it. I should have just stopped. Honestly, just should have stopped and had you take the glass aid off and re-prep it. The generic baby shampoo has an inferior slip compared to Johnson & Johnson. Either way, I use neither anymore. Yeah, it's not quite as good, but it still works well enough. So if you just have a film that slides pretty easily, you can use a dollar store soap and be totally fine with it. My front window's tinted. I was wondering if I can get the fingers out, even though it's been weeks from heating it up. I would just retint it. Yeah, definitely retint it. Okay. So yeah, I would take some heat and I'd press that out. But as it's not really like,
My fault,
yeah, well, like it's not really a great lesson to just spend the time and do that. Because you can see everywhere else laid down nice and clean. So learn from the mistakes, and yeah, this looks great, man. You can see reverse roll turns out nice and smooth. So it's all about just dirt management, really. So clean it better in the beginning, just scrub it down and then use one of those squeegees, and then you should have a much better result. But all this on this side turned out really, really clean. So it's just that last little bit. But yeah, good job. All right, I'm going to peel this off before it sticks. I was told by a local tinter to use baby shampoo or green palm olive soap. Maybe you can test it out in a video or stream one day. Yeah, I appreciate the heads up. I haven't heard palm olive, but I have heard Joy non-ultra. But the ones that I also heard from some old school tinters was always like they'd usually prefer Dawn. They would also like when the film sticks a little bit more, though.
Works great. What was that young man's first name that did the windshield?
What was the name of the guy that did the windshield? Joseph. That was Joseph. But yeah, this is, let me see this really quick. So we got a limo out Malibu. Oh, he's got tint on here now. Ooh, can we save this really quick? There's an air bubble that he missed. I think we can save it. So there's just one air pocket here that if I can save this ahead of time, it's not gonna lock itself in and it's gonna be okay. I also need a towel to wipe this off, but from what I can tell, it's looking actually pretty good. There's a slight gap here. As soon as you pull the tape, you won't notice it as much. I also wanna pull this back and look at the top edge really quick. All right. So it's a little shy. Honestly, not bad though. Nice job. The main things are always like big creases, areas of dirt, and then from there, if it's clean, it's about learning the little refinements, and that always takes time. So a little bit cleaner on the top edge next time. But as far as the actual size of the pattern and the placement, you can move it a little bit farther over this way, and that's one of those things that you place it on the inside, you kind of tack it in place, you jump outside really quick and just check both your edges. So that's where you would have seen this, and you can scooch it over just a smidge. But when you pull the tape, you're not really gonna see that gap quite as much. But overall, it looks much cleaner and better than all the other patterns that we would have done before. Like when I look at this, like there's a couple little things there. But all this is nice and clean. This looks good. So
Thanks.
good job.
Thanks. The top edge, like the last one I installed, you know, wasn't over a little bit, so I just like wanted to play this one like super safe. So I knew, like, even though it was a little short,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, like, okay, well, at least I know this kind of won't.
Yep. It's not gonna peel. It's not gonna squeak up on you. No worries. Look at that. You got a limo on your car. Awesome. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna eat some food. Sick. Canon. Were you all buying the 3M vinyl tape? Nowhere. So I don't use the 3M tape. I use my own Glass Aid. And you can find it. Glass Aid. There you go. There's a link. What's the tin off for the class on best roll-up window? Could give a prize. That's not a bad idea. Well, actually, it was a super cool idea too from the class that I was a part of in Chicago. They ended up. Ooh, I think I just tweaked my lights a little bit. So they did a shrink off, and it was basically one person on each side, and they did brackets. So it was whoever beat the other person went on to the next round. And there was like probably 3-4 rounds, and then the winner won a roll of film. So that was pretty cool. And it's a nice thing too, because it adds a little bit of competition, but you can also see like you're not as afraid to mess up the film because you know you got to beat that person, so it gets everybody to push things a little bit faster. Good night, Matt. Well done with the class. Tell them they did amazing. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a fun thing to show. Kind of just hit me today. It seemed like a good opportunity. I'm going to try and do that with the next class So on the third day, after we've kind of gone over a lot of individual stuff, then it's kind of like, okay, I have to go home, I have to tint. So it's really like, let's put a real world scenario in here with like their own personal stuff or a goal, and literally having that card to just tint the entire thing. Everybody kind of chipped in and was helping everybody out and learning, and it always seemed like there was a million little things to then tweak. So as soon as I do this, oh, somebody's doing this, and then run over here, run over there. It was a lot of fun. So you learn a lot of stuff very quickly. Can we see the logo on the tint kegs? Yeah, sure. So this one's full. These come with the class. I give away a bunch of tools with the class. So one thing that's a lot of fun is we do the tint keg logo in the studio colors. So this is the Tint Studio logo up here. Same colors on that, so it's very inspired. And I wanted it to kind of just really be a tint keg, but have a little special twist with it. So on the back corner, we do a little commemorative Detroit Tint Studio badge right there at the bottom, but it's all white keg around. So it's a very nice, clean-looking keg instead of just being like a Detroit Tint Studio keg. Because at the end of the day, I want you to go, you got your own business, I want it to be a keg for you. But, have a little reminder of the class. It's fun. Thoughts on Solar FX? Local installer said that's what they use for ceramic. I hear really good things about Solar FX. I know most of their films come from a really good manufacturer. I know they have a lot of different films too. So I don't know the entire lineup, but yeah, they're a really big company now. A lot of people like them. Solar FX is good. They're also territorial too. So sometimes you can't always get them, but if nobody's got them in your area, then you definitely can carry them. Or they'll ask one of the local dealers if it's okay if somebody else onboards. Some people are very strong against it. Some people are okay with it. So, alrighty. So I'm gonna join those guys up front because we got some food and just gonna kind of go over some final stuff and then get back into a little bit of practicing. But wanted to kind of finally take you guys into what one of these classes is like. Links in the description if you want to learn a little bit more. But that's kind of what goes around here. First day we did hand cutting and then door window installations. Second day we do shrinking, back window, and windshield installations. And then I kind of watch where the time is at. And then third day is definitely more of a flex day. So you've seen basically everything. And then from there, you can kind of pick and choose. All right, I want to focus more on hand cutting. And if I need to speed anything up, like, oh, I really want to focus on installs. So then I'll cut out a bunch of patterns really quickly for a student. Or, sometimes, I haven't done it yet, though, but could plotter cut them and whatnot. Same thing for installs. So if you need to do a couple of reverse rolls really quickly, I'll shrink a couple windshields, get them all set up, ready to go, and you can do back-to-back installs. So it's a lot of fun. It's all up to what they want to get out of it coming into the class. So like, hey, this is my weak point. I really need to focus on this before I leave. Then I make sure we put some attention into it. Thank you. You're a good teacher. I appreciate that. I'm getting my tint in about 2.5 weeks. Nice. Very nice. Alrighty. So we'll shout out some super chats really quick. As always. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. How about that? Every time it's processed to log back in. So we've got load. And it's just chugging. Wow. It's really chugging there, isn't it? Okay. Well, oh, there they are. Okay. I found them. My other software is not working. So big shout out to both of them are here too, which is really funny. Landon and Joseph, thank you so much, and then also Dean. Thank you very much for the supers today. Greatly appreciate it. Do you recommend first doing a window tinting on as a side hustle, or go all the way in as main job when you're first starting off? Just get your toes wet with it. Start small and then work up to it, because you'll have a lot of ideas of what it might be like, but you really will set yourself up for a lot of success if you can kind of just work your way into it. So put as much time into it as you can while you're still working another job, making money, supporting yourself. That way it's not as stressful, because you'll just jump into window tinting. It can be tough to learn. You'll have any number of problems, and you won't necessarily have a lot of clients when you first start. So the more time you can give yourself to kind of build those things gradually, then you'll know when it's time to pull away from your main job, like, oh, I'm making so much more money tinting, or I'm getting a lot more requests to tint, and then you know to funnel that work to a couple more focused days and just kind of branch away from what you were currently doing. That's how I do everything. I just kind of get one foot in one door, and then slowly, get my feet wet, and then when I know it's time, I make that jump. So when I opened this place, I didn't open this and I was here 24/7. It was I opened this place and I still had another account that I was working for. Even at the home garage, I had 2 accounts. And then I opened this place, I had 1 account left. And then I worked there for probably about 8 months or so. And then it came time around the summertime, like I'm getting more requests to finally tint here. And then I pulled away from there entirely and then did this full time. Alrighty, my dudes. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate ya. Hope you had some fun, learned something, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye.